My biggest single session win was $11,526,000. I don't know if you know, but I'm like restricted everywhere. I'm not even supposed to be in this building.
What's the game you play?
Slot machines.
What's the most you lost in a night?
Around 300,000. Hotels in Las Vegas don't have balconies.
Because when people lose big, it's very tempting?
Yeah.
Vegas is visited by some of the most powerful, wealthy, and elite people in the world. But because of that, also comes a lot of people trying to latch on and had made it a living to take what they can from those people.
We need a knockout, a tap, a submission. We win, that's $5 grand right in our pocket.
Today we explore the world of high-stakes gambling, so of course we head to Sin City, Las Vegas. This is a place filled with gambling and vices galore, but did you know it owes its roots to the righteous? That's right, the city's rise can be traced back to religion, more specifically the Mormons. In 1954, a Mormon banker named Perry Thomas broke tradition by approving bank loans for casinos when no one else would. Vegas went from a ghost town to a place that some would call a typhoon of dark money. Throughout the 50s, 60s, and 70s, major casinos were secretly ran and controlled by organized crime families from cities like New York, Chicago, and Cleveland. And to this day, gambling remains one of America's most divisive industries. Last year, Vegas casinos pulled in nearly $9 billion. To them, it's about choice. They offer an escape, a thrill, and a good time. Critics, however, see Vegas differently, a predatory machine built to exploit addiction and desperation. To see into this world for myself, I assembled a crew of high-stakes gamblers and headed to a lavish penthouse that would serve as our headquarters for this operation. Folks, we're here in the midst of Sin City, Las Vegas. Temptation, gambling, there's dreams being sold. There's a place where hustlers hustle. I have to say, Vegas is a place I find a little bit depressing. It's like a consumerism, capitalism hellhole. Gambling is something that I've avoided largely in my life. In the traditional sense, I do believe you gotta gamble. Like I gamble on doing this. I gamble on real estate. I gamble on the stock market. So I guess in some ways, everyone gambles. The question is, where do you draw the line? So we're pulling into the Cosmopolitan. There's a man we're meeting by the name of Raja who has a suite somewhere up here. Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
And where are you taking us right now?
Taking you up to my penthouse suite.
How often do you live like that?
Pretty much every casino I go to.
What attracts you to Las Vegas?
You know, I've just always gambled. I started gambling when I was young, at 16.
What's the game you play?
Slot machines.
What's the most you won in a night?
$1,081,000.
What's the most you lost in a night?
Around 300,000. These are all their special suites. There's 21 special suites here at the Cosmo. By invite only. You can't even book these rooms.
So this is what the high life is like.
This is what it's like. So it's got a hot tub, massage table.
You take advantage of that?
You know, I never really get massages in the room. One interesting, really fun fact is, do you know why all the hotels in Las Vegas don't have balconies?
Because when people lose big, it's very tempting?
Yeah. I know, people personally who have lost everything, and then when they had the shooting on the Strip, that was a guy who lost all his money, went upstairs to his room, and unfortunately started shooting at people.
The reports that Haddock was gambling $10,000 a day before the massacre may be a clue.
Haddock checked into the hotel a few days ago and, according to sources, spent much of his time there gambling thousands of dollars at the casinos.
So, I mean, there's been tons of stuff like that. You know, Vegas is a show. It's a place to have fun. It's a place to have a good time. And, if you go too deep down the rabbit hole, you could fall for it. But, if you're focused and, doing your thing and having a good time, then enjoy the ride.
Would you consider yourself a professional gambler?
I've had the last couple of years have been very good, and especially with winning $1 million. But I wouldn't say that long term and over the course of my life that the gambling's paid for everything I have. The influencing now that I'm getting paid for and the sponsorships and different stuff like that definitely is making a good chunk of my money. Slot machines are a set percentage.
It's pure luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what your actual win percentage is?
Most of the machines in the casinos are set to about a 9-10% hold rate. You should win 90% back, but most people play into infinity, which they just keep going. So they're just gonna run out of funds at some point.
You seem like a smart guy. Choosing a game that's pure luck. Why?
You have no worry in the world, and you don't have to make a decision. Just hit a button.
Mickey?
You too, bro.
How are you?
Yeah, pleasure, man.
Nice to meet you. This is Mickey Mace. He's one of gambling's most controversial characters. Some think he's one of the best gamblers in the country because, after all, he's gambled on behalf of massive hip-hop stars, and he also flaunts multi-million-dollar payouts from casinos. However, if you look at the YouTube comment sections, he's a heavily debated man. Many question the truthfulness of his claims and alleged conspiracies ranging from he's a paid Vegas insider to simply accusing him of misrepresenting his stories. I'll let you be the judge.
I don't know if you know, but you know I'm like restricted everywhere. Like, I'm not even supposed to be in this building.
Why is that?
I've been banned from almost every casino in the world.
Because?
Well, I know it's for winning too much. Some of them have said it, and some of them won't. I made most money in Baccarat, second most in Blackjack, and I would say I probably play in the highest stakes PLO games in the world. My biggest single session win was $11,526,000.
How do you prove it?
Well, all my tax statements are out. I mean, we could log in all my tax records right now. Drake to Lil Baby to literally anybody you could think of come forward to verify that they've witnessed it happen. So all of these people come forward to verify. Not a single person can say they've ever witnessed the opposite.
Don't they want you to play high stakes?
Yeah, because they think you're gonna lose high stakes. My biggest loss was $8 million in an afternoon. Losing the $8 million was a very confusing feeling. And then it hit a certain point that felt helpless. But I also don't want to mislead people thinking that it's easy or it'll happen to them, because almost it won't happen to them.
Your origin story as a business is the spam king. You sent 100 million emails a day that were spam.
Allegedly. So back in the day, I was in the online advertising business. I got into email marketing, and I used to send out lots of 100 million plus emails a day, and then I got sued by Microsoft, the New York AG, MySpace. Did very well doing it, but I never broke any laws. I only broke terms of service issues, is where most of the lawsuits stem from. Paid almost $20 million in fines. At my peak year, I did 108 million was my best year.
In 1 year?
Yeah.
This exact location of this drive-through that we're driving in, I got in a high-speed pursuit with $4.5 million in cash, and they used to do trunk checks there, and one of the security is how I got away from the guys chasing me.
Why were you in a high-speed chase?
I just won $4.5 million at Bellagio, which is across the street. And so to go this way on the strip, you have to cross and make a U-turn. And as we made a U-turn, I noticed that we were being followed from the valet at Bellagio. I told my boy stomp on it, he did. There's a truck behind us, stomped on it, followed us, and we pulled into here. And when we got to the trunk check, they saw all the cash in the back seat. So I just told security, I was like, yo, someone's chasing us, hold them up. And he gave us instructions. So if we stuck to the right there, it takes you to the employee parking lot. He told me how to navigate it to get out to Cobalt. And he's like, when you hit Cobalt, make a right and just get out of town. That's what we did, and we got away. So we're here at the Venetian. I've won more money in this building than any other building I've ever been in. I beat them for $15 million. And I'm actually kind of nervous being here. I also have not been back to this building, not even once, since I've been banned until right now.
We're here on spring break, so it's particularly packed. It's March Madness weekend, and people are moving and shaking in here. And it honestly blows my mind. My idea of a vacation is an Airbnb with no one near us, near mountains or woods. But this different strokes for different folks. And guys like Roger here thrive off an environment like this.
This is the one I got the $1 million on.
You want to try again?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it again. See if we can hit a jackpot. Most of the people who have hit the $1 million have done it. 80% of them have been on $25. Here it goes. That's a good hit. That made us a little money. 2 more. 1 more.
You'll stay here for how long at a time usually?
Until I'm happy, you know. Sometimes if I win a pretty good jackpot, I'll quit. If I don't hit something, you know, sometimes I'll go all in until I get it. I don't have a set time limit.
Were you ever married before?
No, I've never been married. I have twins. I have twin boys. Unfortunately, their mother passed away. One of my first fun experiences with them was both of them came to the casino and we all played together. But they don't really have a big interest to gamble. Haven't been into it. And that's a big problem for the casinos is that younger youth does not have any interest really in gambling on slots. It's just not something to do. They grew up, playing online video games and so much other stuff.
Because I don't follow sports that closely, I didn't realize how massive sports betting has gotten. And this is how it all happened, folks. Previous to 2018, it was illegal across the United States. Then the Supreme Court made the decision to rule sports gambling to be legal, and this unleashed the floodgates. 38 states have since approved it as part of their legal commerce, and this has resulted in a booming industry that did $300 billion in 2023, which to put in perspective makes it more than 30 times bigger than that of the business of the Vegas casinos. And according to Siena College Research Institute, nearly half of men aged 18 to 49 have a sports gambling account. And furthermore, the average household that does sports betting loses about $1,100 a year. To me, those numbers are astonishing. Let me know in the comments if you think this is something we need to be concerned about as a society. How much money are you willing to lose today?
We got it. Up to $1,198,000 I could win right now.
Now what do you have to do?
All I have to do is that.
I know who you are. I love you, by the way.
Thank you.
But they don't want you here, so we're just gonna.
That's baseball 2021, that's all. 21-21, you can come back.
21,
21, yeah, man.
So 10 years?
No, 100 years.
100 years. I got a 100-year trespass?
Yeah, man.
Hereby warn you that you are trespassing property by statute 207. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe out there. Have a good day.
Sorry, thank you. So I saw them gathering and pointing at me, and I was like, I know, you know.
Here's our property, so you gotta go out.
Oh, we're not on.
We're still on property.
This is the closest I'm allowed to come.
So any past year?
Yeah, they told me they'll arrest me if I come back.
Is 100 years a typical ban?
No one's ever used the number 100 before. They're like, you're banned, get out.
Have you ever played slots before?
Never.
All right, you know what? Touch that. I'm putting my faith in you. I don't think I've ever had that happen where I didn't get one extra ball. So we won $400. Not very good.
And how much did we spend to get this 400?
So we have 2,000 in the machine. So we're down right now about $760.
Is this fun itself, or because you've already made tens of millions of dollars in other business, you just can afford to lose?
I can afford to gamble from the money I've made from my other businesses, but the gambling and being an influencer now definitely that helps to fund it.
For people watching this that might get into this, do you advise?
If you've never gambled in your life or played slots, I would tell you probably save your money. You're never going to win long term. Lucky Lacey, you ready to bring me some luck?
I'm gonna try.
What's the most you ever lost?
The most I ever lost in a day was $300,000. For my birthday a couple of years ago, I did $5,000 spins. So I did 50 spins at $5,000 each. Plus I did 50 spins at $1,000 each to celebrate my 50th birthday. And unfortunately I lost, just during that session of 300 grand, I lost about $250,000.
What's the most you lost in a night?
That was between 3,000 to 5,000.
This is Lucky Lacey. She's a former exotic dancer and winner of 2016 Miss Nude Universe, and she's a friend of Raja's who also likes to play slots recreationally.
I tend to just take what I want to lose that day. So if it's what I would have spent in a night out having fun, then I take that. And if I don't lose all of it, then that's a win for the night. If I lose it all and go to the ATM machine, then that's the only time I really consider it being a loss.
What's the most you've lost in one night?
20?
What was that like?
It was okay.
This is John Lillis. He's a former world champion American skier who has since moved on to become a full-time sports bettor. He and his partner Chris run a Discord chat for clients that want to copy their bets. They consider themselves sharp action bettors, which is a type of strategic gambler that looks for undervalued spreads in an effort to win bigger and more consistently.
Just like anything else with gambling, you build a tolerance to it, right? And if you know that you're lifetime up, or you're doing the right things and you're just catching a bad beat, or something doesn't go your way.
The one thing I'd like to show you a bonus, we go down this game actually goes all the way down to 10 cents bet. Like a $10 spin, so we just fast have it and see if we can get a bonus so you can see what it does. One freaking bonus here. Oh, this is big. We got the upgrade. This is big. So this is gonna upgrade us to this wheel. We could hit this major right now for 12,000. We could hit that super grand for 167,000. This is big. One more. All right. So these are all going to become wood houses now, and we're going to get another spin. Oh, that's huge. Oh my God. We got our first gold hat right here now. So on a $100 bet on this machine, 2 nights ago, I won $51,000. So we have a really good chance at a jackpot on this one. Oh, 750, that's a good one. So we did it, got a jackpot. Boom, 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 baby. 1,742.50. Wow. Not bad. This is good.
So we just won a jackpot and a tenant's on the way.
Yeah.
Does this money mean anything to you?
Yeah, I feel like I got a little revenge for what we put into it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not life changing. It's not going to change where I have dinner at tonight. We can continue gambling a little bit more.
You do this as a professional? Yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been doing it, and what is your ROI?
I've been gambling for a long time, right? Even in my early teenage years, playing poker, blackjack. I mean, I was the kid with the fake ID who ran to the blackjack table, and I came through it very organically. Since I've been tracking and posting and helping other people win and really tracking my action publicly for other people to see, where other people can actually track what I've done, I would say we are at about 3.5 years now with a 400% ROI. If you understand how the sportsbook works and you understand how the public thinks, you understand that the market moves based on what the public thinks is going to happen outside what the actual probability is. Every bet has a hold, and you can actually erase that hold by finding where the public is, and sometimes a line might move because of a reason, right? A key player might be injured, someone might be out, information might be coming in that a star player was up all night with his girlfriend and drinking or whatever and showed up late to practice. That all can come into it. But sometimes none of that stuff is a factor. It's just who is more favored. Because a lot of people bet with their heart. You will get more money by being on the other side of that bet.
And is this your career? This is your income?
Full-time job. What we do is, we do this every day. So we do have that secondary income stream of, there are a lot of people that are looking for an edge and they want to gamble, but they want to gamble responsibly and they want to see.
People subscribe to get your picks.
We take serious bettors that actually want to treat it like an investment, that they're in it for the long term. We're looking at the UFC main event tonight. These two fighters have already fought before, a 3-round fight. They don't have a lot of finishes between them. Marvin Vettori, one of the fighters, never been finished. Because of that, 2-to-1 odds that this fight will go the distance. What we're betting is that this is going to be the fight that trend ends. We're going to go this fight to not go the distance. We want to see someone get knocked out before 5 rounds. How you guys doing? You got the UFC lines?
Oh, I have my biggest bet of the year going on this game right now. So if I start freaking out when Florida hits 91 points, that's why. I need Florida to hit 91 points by themselves. And 7 points in 7 minutes for Florida is pretty doable. So
I want the main event. I want to not go the distance. 1,800. So here it is. Here's a slip. We laid $1,800 to win just north of 4,500. We're looking at this fight, last fight of the night. We just need either fighter to end this thing before it gets to the judges.
Yes, let's freaking go, boys! Oh, that Alabama defense, I love them. They don't play defense, baby. That's the biggest cash of the year right there. 500 on Florida's team total at -110, so probably about 450 or so. And then I told the guys in the club to take it at 3 units. So whatever they normally bet, I told them to triple it.
I think Vegas could be really cool if you use it correctly. And I think the best form of using Vegas correctly is not trying to use it at all. I think if you come here allowing it to use you, that's how you get the best experience out of it. You don't come here trying to win. You don't come here trying to meet a celebrity. You don't come out here trying to get famous and make $1 million. You come here to have fun and piss a weekend off with your friends. So it's filled with a lot of smoke and mirrors for two reasons. One, to take everything from those elite people, and two, because without it, anyone who's in between working class and elite doesn't really have a way out.
Casinos didn't get pretty based on people winning money. So I think everything is set up mathematically. I don't think there's anything intrinsically that you couldn't find information-wise where you're being lied to. But I think things are probably psychology-wise led to make you spend more money. Everything is incentivized to get you to spend more. So if that's smoke and mirrors, then I guess, yes, that probably exists.
That's 100% true. I mean, if there is an advantage that someone can take, or a scheme that they can run, or a scam that they can get into, someone has found their way into it in Vegas, and you know, it just is what it is.
To me, gambling is not that much different from alcohol, fast food, or video games. Done to an extreme, they can ruin your life, but done in moderation or not doing them at all, you should be okay. But my question is, what is it within some people that seems to compel them to take their vice to a self-destructive level? While some people can be disciplined and abstain from temptation, others seem to have a compulsive aspect to their nature. While I don't know why that is, what I do know is from top to bottom, from the music in the lobby to the scents that you smell in your room to the free drinks and much, much more, Vegas is a place designed to tilt the odds away from you being able to maintain your own self-control.
I think Vegas ruins lives. I think it causes more deaths, whether it be literal or spiritual and emotional, than almost any other place in the world. It's built on the sex trade. It's built on glorifying sex work and prostitution. Exasperates most people's weaknesses. Vegas is sold as an idea that all your dreams can come true and you can do anything you want and fix all these things, but the truth is, it's a hole and it's a trap. Every single thing you see here on the Strip was 100% built on your money. This only exists because you lose. I don't think you should enter any form of gambling, especially Vegas, the mecca of gambling, thinking you're gonna win. If this isn't a testament to the billions and billions and billions of dollars that the people spent to have this built, we are in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. There's no reason a city should exist, let alone one as lavish and exciting as this. This is built on losers. Every day, everybody comes here to lose money. Don't be foolish and think you're gonna be the winner.
So here's the deal. There's one fight left. 25 minutes, 5 rounds. All we need is this fight to not go to the distance. No judges involved. We need a knockout, a tap, a submission, a disqualification. Anything of the above, we win. That's $5 right in our pocket.
What's going through your mind after the loss?
I'm never fucking betting a sports bet next to this fucking guy again.
So why not?
I'm a superstitious guy. He wasn't liking the play early, and you got to have good energy when you're gambling. You get the energy that you bring into it. So if you bring bad energy into gambling, if you ever see someone at a table and they got bad energy, run the other way, because the gambling gods will never look favorably upon bad energy.
Do you know any tragic gambling stories?
I know a lot of tragic gambling stories, from people's wives leaving them to them selling their houses and cars. Your comps, you have an automatic 30, sometimes up to 40% of spending power based on your theoretical loss. People call it theo. It stands for theoretical loss. It does not mean literal loss. As a matter of fact, you could win while still having theo. Every time you play, whatever they tell you your theo is, 30% of that number you can spend on anything you want on property.
So guys, there's a lot of ways to gamble in life. The ways I prefer to gamble, one is betting on myself. So this YouTube journey has been one big gamble that has finally paid off. But then real estate, stocks, really just the S&P 500. I believe it's a big mistake not to take a gamble on yourself. However, the question is, what is an appropriate gamble? One of the oldest rules in the book when it comes to gambling or even investing is only put down what you are comfortable losing. Where people really get into trouble is they bet the house on something. Why would you bet your house? That's where you live. I will never bet or invest. I would recommend investing over gambling, but invest what you can stand to lose. That's a age-old maxim that holds true. Well, folks, the sun has just set on the Las Vegas Strip, and all around us right now, someone's rolling the dice, someone's placing the bet, and maybe someone just lost their house, maybe someone just won the jackpot and won big. It's been a fascinating look into a world I had no idea about. As always, guys, I appreciate you for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
Hey there, welcome to the Coinbase customer care team. Who am I currently speaking with? How may I help you today?
The FBI swarmed a luxury home in Miami in a raid connected to the theft of cryptocurrency. The government says it's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They're charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to launder money.
People are hungry, and a lot of these people see people with money and they want it. They'll send people after you, kidnap you. They'll do anything in their power to get that money away from you.
Basically, it's like this big community. They do crimes, steal money from people.
How much money is enough money to you?
I mean, how much money is enough money to anyone, right? They probably told you that your house was in, hold on, let me see.
They may have mentioned that, yeah.
When I first started this video, I thought I was dealing with a few kids that scam people for maybe a few $1,000s. Then I quickly realized I was dealing with a dangerous, extremely violent, multi-billion-dollar criminal underworld called the Com. And this brought me into an entire subculture of fascinating characters. From operators in the Com, including a kid who is currently on the run from international law enforcement.
Yo, Tommy, bro, I'm about to hit this fat lick.
To even two of the chief security officers of the most recognizable cryptocurrency platforms in the world.
Philip Martin, I'm the Chief Security Officer at Coinbase.
My name is Nick Prococo. I'm the Chief Security Officer at Kraken.
In this video, we uncovered a group with its own unique culture and lingo.
Skid is pretty much like an idiot, just like role-playing. Just another word, LARP.
A LARP is a live-action roleplay. It pretty much means that you fake flex all your things, you get your things off of shit like Pinterest, drive rented cars, all that other shit.
So join us as we explore one of the biggest crime rings you've never heard of.
Folks, we're here in Los Angeles, which is one of the ground zero locations, or the hotspots, for this crypto scamming community. And there's a lot of different scams these guys run, but it also gets much bigger than that. If you read these indictments, and some of these indictments are for 9 figures, we're here to meet a few kids that are in the scene to see what we can learn, and we'll take you right into it. Good to meet you, brother.
Good to meet you.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't have Coinbase, by the way.
Hey. It's all good, all good. I'm retired, I don't work anymore. I'm Balenci.
Balenci is controversial in the Com. Some people say he's made his money through crypto scamming, while others claim he's made his money largely through extorting and blackmailing actual crypto scammers. He was the first one from the Com that agreed to meet us in person. Here's how it went.
No, I'm a retired worker. I don't work anymore. Anybody watching? Pretty much just gonna explain, gonna run through some stuff, how to, avoid common scams that a lot of people fall for, because it's getting very sophisticated nowadays. You just won't be able to tell. So we're at my friend's shop / rental business. Really nice guy. His name's Eric. He's also in the crypto space, and he owns his own security agency.
We're talking about like serious, like people are actually wanted in this space. Like this isn't a joke.
You will get 20 years plus if you get caught, and that's like minimum sentencing. And it's all by sophisticated means. So if you steal money using technology at all, it's even worse. That's extra 5 years on top of your sentence. Plus, if you're above the age of 18.
I've heard kids that, hey, I've been doing this since I was 12. Can a 13-year-old get in trouble for this?
They can. I know a lot of kids end up getting in trouble. There's some like 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds who are still in indictments, who have gotten in trouble. They're just like not allowed to post their names. I did get arrested for swatting. So that's something I did get arrested for.
You got arrested for swatting someone?
Did, yeah.
Swatting is when someone calls in a fake emergency from a spoof number that is so extreme that it prompts a SWAT team response, and that entails armed law enforcement surrounding your house and storming it at gunpoint. Swatting is potentially very dangerous, and it's quite common within the comm, and it's used mostly as a prank, but also to intimidate.
You've also gotten swatted, right?
Many times, yeah.
So now that you've been on the receiving end of it, that is a crazy thing to do to somebody.
It is, and it's like, it's really just it's not fun either. Especially when it happens to you, it's the scariest thing.
Break down some of the lingo in this space.
P1, which Press One bot, the bot that people use to scam.
Yo, Tommy, bro, I'm about to hit this fat lick. We've doxed everything and it's ready to either go into a P1 or be SMS'd. It's got their full name right here, their email address, phone numbers associated to them, and then of course their address. I mean, I doxed I think 30,000 times as well. Hey there, welcome to the Coinbase customer care team. Who am I currently speaking with? How may I help you today? Okay, no problem. You can go ahead and check this out for you here. And just so I can confirm, I am speaking to the official account holder. Is the Coinbase account under the phone number you're calling us on? My phone number.
What you are listening to is a live scam in action. It's known as the P1 or Press 1 for Help scam. The victim on the phone received a text message that convinced him that someone was withdrawing funds from his account, and right now the victim believes he is talking to Coinbase support, when in reality he is talking to a kid in a ski mask who is attempting to drain his entire account.
Again, how's your day going so far, sir? Of course, no, I understand completely, sir. What I am going to go ahead and do here is sort of place a switch on your account just so we can sort of disable any unauthorized account accesses within the actual account itself. Can you go ahead and possibly just confirm the most recent active balance that displays on your end, sir? $36,000, okay? What I am going to go ahead and do here is just transfer you to one of our managers and they'll be able to sort of handle your case more securely. Balance. So I'm basically right now about to transfer it to one of someone else in my team, and they'll be able to sort of handle their case and be able to, you know, get their coins, you know what I mean?
What do you make in a typical week doing this?
It really depends. I mean, I've gone 2 weeks dry with no money, and then next thing you know, I'm up $500,000.
And what I noticed, a lot of kids in this community blow through that money so quickly.
What are we looking at?
What about comms?
It's just short for community, but it's like our group of people, our little group is known as the comm.
Basically, it's like this big community. Came a group where they do crimes, steal money from people. That's basically the comm. Not OG usernames.
Is it true to say that a lot of these kids met on Roblox, Call of Duty, Minecraft?
Yeah. Like Xbox and shit. I know a lot of people from Xbox. They grew up have millions of dollars now. And it is again messed up because you have to understand, comm kids are not just 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds who have nothing to do in their lives. There are 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds who are doing this, who are paying hitmen and who are paying people to go rob other people and burn houses down. And it's crazy.
Do you think it would be fair to guess that this very behavior of being willing to backstab and cross a friend over money, it's going to be the very behavior that actually brings down the whole community?
The number one reason why comm kids get caught is because of this avid flexing. They want to flex the lifestyle, they want to flex the watches, they want to flex the cars. That's what gets you caught. And the second thing is crypto in itself, when you're doing all this business, is completely undetectable. It's easy to wash, it's easy to launder, it's easy to hide all the assets that you've taken. But when it comes down to things like going to send someone else to go rob someone, or, you know, torching someone's house, that's when they do get caught, because that's when law enforcement puts 2 and 2 together. And I think a lot of people get it confused. The comm is called the community because there's a lot of different types of communities. For example, there might be a Roblox comm or a Fortnite comm. Well, there's also fraud comm, and there's crypto fraud comm. So there's a lot of these different groups that kind of come together, and they're people who don't know each other in real life. They meet each other digitally, they connect online, and basically the whole purpose really depends on which part of the comm you're in. The main one, which I think has the most notoriety, is probably the crypto and fraud comms. And if you've ever gotten a text message that says, you know, contact Coinbase support or press 1 to call back, it's usually probably from someone in the call.
You recently had a big hit.
I have, yeah. It was around $900,000 or so. We social engineered him into, securing his funds into his Coinbase wallet. It was pretty hard because he had to do a facial verification thing, so we hung up for about 20 minutes or so. It was just a lot of waiting. We received a call back and he moved his funds into his Coinbase wallet, which just took everything.
So is he pretty much shit out of luck? Like, is there any way he could try and trace this down?
All of our money is cleanly washed. There's no trace of it anywhere. It's all on this baby right here. That's my ledger.
So it looks pretty legit. There's a case reference, there's a signed representative, and then what's the next step from here?
I'll just social engineer them, and we'll send them a link or the same email.
And then Kraken. Here we go. Same thing. Yeah, no reply, email that Kraken, representative, Kraken support. To work a long career, let's say he's been working since he left high school or college, and be in your 50s, and have accumulated $900,000 of cryptocurrency, and then lose it all, that's gotta be devastating for the guy.
I'm sure it is, but, it's better off in my hands.
In May of 2025, hackers bribed overseas Coinbase employees and demanded a $20 million ransom from Coinbase. In response, CEO Brian Armstrong put out a $20 million bounty on anyone that can provide information that would lead to the hackers' arrest, and he promised to bring these hackers to justice. Coinbase estimated that this incident cost them between $180 and $400 million, and part of that was the cost to reimburse any customer that was affected by this incident. And to me, it blew my mind that attacks from teenagers could lead to a multi-$100 million consequence for a major crypto company.
We're going to meet a kid in this parking garage up here.
This is Unknown. He's a kid that has touched over 7 figures in his career in crypto, and he agreed to meet us in a parking garage to explain this mysterious world in more detail.
What do you go by and what do you do in this space?
My name's and I like to engineer for cryptocurrency.
Social engineering?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that.
Social engineering is the manipulation of gaining someone's trust, even though it's not really true.
What team does it take to do this? Like, what are the different roles that need to be done?
So there's 3 parts of it. It's always a 3-way split. There's a data provider, there's the engineer, which is the caller, and there's usually a boss that helps keep up behind the scenes, send the emails and all that other stuff.
And who do you think is the most important in this 3?
Probably the caller, because they have to gain the target's trust.
And people are meeting each other in Minecraft?
Correct. So
it's a common way to get into this.
Oh yeah, Minecraft is usually the biggest way that everyone gets into this kind of stuff.
That sounds hilarious to say out loud.
Yeah, it really does. My friend sold a username on Minecraft for $250,000 last month.
LARP.
A LARP is a live action roleplay. It pretty much means that you fake flex all your things, you get your things off of shit like Pinterest, drive rented cars, all that other shit.
What is a skid?
A skid is a person they might be a little bit smart, they just laugh up things.
Somebody's pretending they make a bunch of money, pretending they have a bunch of things, or they know how to do stuff. You'll call them a LARP. You'll say, oh, you're role playing, you don't know what you're talking about.
Do you have any worry that you might get caught?
Honestly, I don't. Because I know that I'm kind of safe.
If you were to guess, how much would you say your parents are worth?
Low 7 figures.
Are you in high school?
Yeah.
Did you skip high school to come here?
No, sir.
So you're still in high school. At what point can you use this money and start your own LLC or do something legitimate?
I mean, at the end of the day, I can go start something legal right now because I have this big empire. And honestly, that's kind of what the goal is, because if I'm getting all this legal income and I get questions for how much money I have proof of income right there.
How much money is enough money to you?
I mean, how much money is enough money to anyone, right? But honestly, if I go home tomorrow and I hit another $1 million, I'd probably be done.
So you think you're still going to keep going?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Describe how violent this game is.
People have so much money and so much time on their hands and no empathy towards people, so it gets really bad, People are hungry, and a lot of these people see people with money and they want it. They'll send people after you, kidnap you, they'll do anything in their power to get that money away from you.
So when I was leaving my house, black car pulled up, 2 people with guns, 3 people with machetes, put me in the car, took me to some place, and they wanted to make some quick money, and then they would sort of let me go.
So how much did they rob you for?
$50K. They didn't manage to take that much.
I've seen people go up to people's cars, shoot their cars. I've seen people get shot at. I've seen windows broken. I've seen Molotovs going through windows. I've seen people tied up. I've seen people get like needles put into their arms. I've pretty much seen it all.
Within the comm, they have networks that offer violence for hire services. How this works is someone can say in a Telegram chat, for example, do you know anyone in Chicago that can do a job? I'm offering $10,000. And the common options for this violence would include bricking, which involves throwing a brick through someone's house windows. Another thing that is quite common is paying for rival comm members to be kidnapped and robbed of their cryptocurrency. And finally, you can order anything from a drive-by shooting to happen or for someone's house to be crashed into by a car. Now keep in mind, some of these kids are as young as 15, they have millions of dollars at their disposal, and they have the ability to cause real violence. And this is one of the elements that makes the comm particularly dangerous.
How hard is it to protect where you live?
It's very, very, very hard. If you think you're safe online, you are not safe.
To the average person, within a couple minutes, you can find out where they live and their...
If you give me your phone number, I'd be able to get everything off you just like that from one computer.
Do you know people that have been kidnapped?
Yeah, so a lot of people that know the Malone story don't actually know, but his friend's parents were actually kidnapped. You know, maybe to extort them because they knew about the crime, so they were probably just gonna extort them for all the money.
The most notorious case in the comm has to be that of Malone Lamb. At just 19, he and his team executed a $230 million fraud that was perpetrated on just one victim. He then went on an absolute spending rampage, and in a short amount of time, he bought over 30 luxury vehicles, would casually run up $500,000 nightclub tabs in Miami, and he bought an endless amount of Birkin bags for women he was trying to impress. This spending is what eventually caught the attention of law enforcement and got him caught. His case is still in process as we speak.
Have you been kidnapped before?
I have. I was leaving the club here in Hollywood, and a white van pulled up. They come up to me trying to say, yo, what's up? And then next thing you know, there's a gun to my abdomen. And at that point, you just, can't really do anything. They're like, you're just gonna come with us, get in the car. And they said, well, pull out your phone and scan your face and hand it to me. He changes my Instagram password. He changed my Telegram password. We were there for about a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just sitting in a garage, and he sent all the money out.
How much do they take from you?
It was about like 43K.
One of the terms I've heard in this space is IRL robbers.
IRL. They'll go break into their house late at night, tie them up, tie their families up, go put guns to them, and they'll try to get them to send out all the money that they have to the name. Innocent people who have no involvement with this at all.
And how do they find them?
Through data.
After meeting with Balenci, he posted a photo of us online, and instantly things started to get hot. I got docs and chats with thousands of comm kids, and right away got threats with my home address listed. Initially, I was very spooked.
Yeah, you're being targeted by this dude named ACG. It's a group in New York by Dridian and then some other people. They're pretty legit. They'll try to pay some people to go to your house and throw a brick in your house. That's all they'll do, and swallow your house. I could help you give some information about them, but I could help you find them a little bit. But they're based in Dubai right now. They probably told you that your house was in, hold on, let me see.
They may have mentioned that, yeah.
But once I got over the shock of that, I learned something else. The exotic car rental place Balenci had us meet, Drive LA, was also extremely sketchy. You see, the owner of it, Eric Hallam, was just in the news.
Former police officer now accused of kidnap for ransom.
Hallam was an LA cop for 12 years, and he used his uniform, according to some sources, to regularly rob teenagers known to be having large amounts of cryptocurrency, and he was hired by bosses within the comm, guys like Adam Iza.
The conspiracy revolved around a man named Adam Iza. Iza referred to himself through the term the Godfather. He was a major cyber criminal.
And well, would you know that allegedly this conspiracy also involved the Israeli mob. So between getting doxxed and becoming aware that kidnapping cops and Israeli crime syndicates were getting involved in the comm, it made me realize that this story was way more serious than I initially thought.
There's a really corrupt place in Los Angeles called Drive LA. I don't want to speak on anyone affiliated except the owner. That would be Eric Benjamin Hallam. He's basically ex-reserve cop. He just runs a huge kidnapping ring, and it looks like a security firm online. But essentially, it's just a huge kidnapping ring.
Are you afraid for your life right now?
Yeah, so I've been being hunted for quite a minute now. They actually kidnapped one of my friends and like held him for basically ransom. They basically said, give him all your crypto, and they tortured the living life out of him until he was like bleeding, fingernails peeled off, everything. They even took his car. They'll even drive states across just to get to someone. They'll put trackers in your car, they'll follow you. They'll literally dress up like cops and come to you. They'll even go as far as like bribing the girl you're talking to or someone around you and basically threatening them, saying, if you don't do this, we're gonna your life. Like they'll pull your social, find loans in your name, try and kidnap that person just to get you.
Is he doing this with a crew of cops or a crew of street thugs, or who's his?
I mean, I don't really want to speak on that entirely. By himself, he's harmless, but he has so much money. Money's just power.
Realistically, how afraid are you right now?
Bro, I've literally been running state to state for so long.
Would you say that you are on the run right now?
I'm on the run from, like, the government. Like, I don't have any government agencies looking after me. I mean, if I'm on the run from people, maybe. I mean, I've gone sort of like a bunch of people that are trying to get me killed, I guess, sort of targeting me, but they can't catch me. They can do their best to catch me. They can't catch me.
So just to show you how serious this game is, there's this guy I was talking to that is overseas that specializes in rug pulls. Think Subway, McDonald's, Burger King, hacking their Twitter account. Let's say it's Subway, launching footlong coin. People get gullible, they buy into it, and then they rug pull it. He just, like, I'm backing out of the moment for security reasons. Sorry for wasting your time, I would have done it, but people just got really mad at me. There's a lot of threatening in this game. I've had people message me that are trying to threaten me or say other people are threatening me. It's a very weird space. People want to really act like they're violent, but just to say that this is not a game. Like, we have lots of money on the line, lots of prison time on the line, and kids that are so disconnected from empathy and reality that they are willing to swat each other, rob each other, kidnap family members. I mean, this is much deeper than I ever could have guessed. Basically, these guys are, well, he said a threat to me, and that Balenci called him 2 or 3 hours ago and mentioned those threats. Yet Balenci is we're supposed to be meeting him shortly here.
I told you the other day as well that he is a threat. The thing is, him himself physically not a threat, but he feeds information to dangerous people, if that makes sense.
So probably cut him off.
100% cut him off.
He tried to get us to come to a mansion party yesterday, and he wants to meet us in like an hour. You think you would say it could be a setup?
It could be a setup for sure. And he can also, if there are people targeting you, he's the type of guy to play both sides. He'd sell you out for like 2,000, 1,000 probably. Like, he's that type of guy, really. Let's just say if they did get a hold of him, like, yo, give us Tommy G, we'll give you X amount of crypto, like, he'd do it in a heartbeat.
This is Nick Prococo, the Chief Security Officer of Kraken. Nick has an OG hacker background and has been running elite white hat security teams for many years. His company Kraken has one of the best track records in the industry when it comes to defending customers from these kinds of attacks, so I wanted to get his perspective on this story. In the course of making this video, I was threatened allegedly by guys that may be located in Dubai right now. And people could look at that and say, they're in Dubai, they're living a lavish lifestyle, they might have tens of millions of dollars to their name. What's gonna happen to these guys?
Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with other countries, that becomes difficult, right? Like, international law enforcement needs to take control of that type of investigation.
What are the penalties for doing this?
They can go to jail for many years, especially computer crimes are typically, interesting enough, computer crimes are often steeper penalties compared to some other crimes. And so, you can see someone can go to jail for 20, 30, 30 years for like a financial computer-based crime.
Would you say the federal government is equipped to kind of go after these kids and stuff?
They're getting better. I'm working with a number of law enforcement agencies across the country to teach them how to do this type of analysis, and bring some of the tools to them to show them how to use them. Prosecutors are learning how to prosecute these cases, in some cases even start that process even before the identity of the perpetrators are known. So there are definitely steps that are being taken, and the capabilities are getting better.
Right now, where would you say we are in the adoption curve of crypto?
I think we're still very early, even though it's been about a decade, right? It's a decade. If you think of, I sort of compare it, and a lot of people do, they compare it to sort of the internet adoption, right? Like when I was doing early internet activities, early 90s, mid 90s, there was handfuls of people or thousands of people maybe online at that time.
Across the industry, Kraken has been rated as one of the top security cryptocurrency companies on the planet. For the companies that aren't as good, what do you think they are doing to drop the ball, and what do you think they could fix internally?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's the culture of security, in the company itself. We have people who join Kraken from other cryptocurrency exchanges, and they give us feedback and say, the culture of security is, far higher than what was at the other company. A lot of times companies are just very focused on making money. They're very focused on moving as fast as they can, rolling out new products, not really, focusing on when we roll out new products, we should make sure they're secure. When clients are having some trouble or someone hacks into a client's account, we should be able to detect that and stop the criminal. And so, I think a lot of what we do is very focused on ensuring that our clients are safe, ensuring that our systems are safe, ensuring that our products that we release to our clients, which as a company we release products almost every week. There's new features and new products. We want to make sure that those are safe to use as well. And a lot of companies don't do that. Every business that has customer service either builds it in-house or they have to outsource, or they do a combination of both. Where companies have fallen down is that they will outsource to, say, a very large call center. And so when you as a client pick up the phone and you call 1-800 crypto company, when you're talking, the person on the other end is not an employee of the crypto company. They're outsourced, like a business process outsourcing. And so what can happen in those environments is that the people that are in that call center start getting infiltrated by the comm. And then it spreads a little bit like wildfire, like, hey, I just made an extra $500.
Particularly if it's a country where $500 goes a long way.
Right. I think one, have situational awareness. If you're getting a phone call out of the blue, if you are getting a text message out of the blue, especially one that is worrisome, like your account is hacked into, or we need to help you move all your funds. Like those types of calls should be very big red flags. Kraken doesn't make those types of phone calls to our clients. Other organizations do not make those types of phone calls to their clients. Just be very aware that when you're getting something that says you have to hurry up and do something, it's typically someone on the other line of the line that wants you to do it quickly because they want to steal what you have very quickly and go on to the next person.
Philip Martin, the Chief Security Officer at Coinbase.
Coinbase has the most users of any crypto exchange in the United States, so of course their platform has been heavily targeted by these social engineering attacks. I wanted to hear how familiar he was with the comm and understand what his company was doing to address these attacks. So I boarded a flight to San Francisco and sat down with him at a Coinbase office.
You're talking to a guy whose mission is to protect this stuff, right? I see the future of the comm as being dismantled piece by piece by law enforcement over time. Now, is there going to be a new the comm named something else that'll spring up? Probably. And that one will get dismantled too. And then there'll be another one, and that one will get dismantled too. I don't want to live in a world where the good guys can do whatever they want in pursuit of the bad guys, because I think that leads to the good guys becoming the bad guys over time. I think that kind of process and procedure is an important part of keeping the good guys good and the bad guys bad. What I would say at the end of this is just to those folks out there that are victims or potential victims, right? Just like you learned growing up to lock your door, put your lights on a timer, stop the mail delivered to your house on vacation, right? All that physical security hygiene we all learned. There's cybersecurity hygiene out there too, right? Around two-factor authentication, password managers, the use of recognizing phishing when you see it, that kind of stuff. And it's very, very important that folks, invest in that kind of hygiene and knowledge, just like they do for their house or their car or any other asset that they have.
What are some things people back home should know that is going to protect them from losing their money?
Minimize the data that's out there about you online. Be skeptical, right? You're going to get these calls, text messages, emails, things like that. Don't always trust what you immediately see and hear there. In these scams, there's two things they try to create: urgency and isolation. You should never be pressured into making a choice like this. Or they're going to say things like, your account's being hacked right now. You have to move the money right now. That's not ever how this works. Isolation, they're going to push you to not talk to other people about this scam. We are very, very committed to working with law enforcement every single day, making sure that we are educating them, that we are training them, that we are working with them to aggregate victim losses and show them, hey, this is a priority.
All right, folks, that was a look into the world of teenage cryptocurrency theft. But I want to say this, don't be afraid of getting into cryptocurrency, just like real estate, mutual funds, gold. These are important things to invest into if you can. And when you see some of the more conservative financial outlets like Wells Fargo or JP Morgan putting Bitcoin ETFs on their balance sheet, it's probably a good idea for the common man to do it as well. If you want to get started investing into cryptocurrency, click the link for Kraken below and get started on your investing journey. Folks, thanks for joining. We'll see you next week.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
No one's ever seen this. This is his original presentation to raise money from the 70s.
I think he started with good intentions, but I think power and money went to his head.
We're at a gate here.
Oh, boy!
Kenneth Copeland is one of the darkest individuals I've ever come across.
Off the property now.
What is that badge, just by the way?
Off the property.
You
want to see this? Off the property. Whoa, you're going to flash your gun?
In that magnificent name, the name of Jesus, amen.
Kenneth Copeland. You might recognize him for his interview on Inside Edition.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
He's the guy that claimed to defeat COVID-19.
COVID-19!
COVID-19! He speaks in tongues. And he claims he will live to 120.
I will live and preach this gospel till I'm 120 years old.
And he's not joking. And would you know, folks, that Kenneth Copeland is America's richest pastor, with estimates of his net worth ranging wildly from $300 million to nearly $1 billion. And today, we're diving into a series of disturbing allegations concerning Copeland and his church, Eagle Mountain Ministries. Allegations like that he allegedly used church donations to build a private oil empire that rakes in millions. That he promised his donors a Christian retirement community, but instead, all that money allegedly went to things like this. So we flew to Dallas, Texas to infiltrate Kenneth Copeland's empire and expose the truth about his ministries. We teamed up with Nate of The Religion Business, who has dedicated the last few years of his life to exposing people like Kenneth. From standoffs on his private tarmac to uncovering his private hunting grounds, we show you the side of Kenneth Copeland that he has spent his entire life trying to conceal. Something you should know before we get into the episode, we have completely restocked and revamped our Big Dog collection. We got new shirts on the site in green and brown, trucker hats, hoodies, all your favorites, restocked, ready to go. So get yours while supplies last at TommyGMcGee.com. And now, folks, to Kenneth Copeland. $7:30 right now, Sunday morning in Dallas, Texas. In about 3 minutes, we have a guy named Nate pulling up who's part of something called The Religion Business. He's made it his job to bust out the nonsense that's happening in nonprofits and churches around the country and even the world. Nate suspects that Kenneth Copeland is actually a fraudster, allegedly, and that this is a man that we need to investigate, look into, and make sure we understand what is happening with all the money flowing through his church, all the broken promises, and how is a pastor worth nearly $1 billion?
Well,
What is up, brother? Good to meet you too, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I've got a really big 30 by like 40-inch map of his property, so we'll block it out. I think. Scoped out, it sounds. Oh yeah, we have this place down to the roads. I am Nathan Apfel, TV and film director, and my mission is to bring accountability into the religious institutions here in America and the world. I was raised a Christian, like raised in the megachurch scene, and I realized this whole system is a house of cards and it needs to be taken apart and be rebuilt.
Kenneth Copeland is one of the darkest individuals I've ever come across.
Justin Peters is a world-renowned preacher who uses a deep understanding of biblical scripture to expose the lies of prosperity gospel leaders like Kenneth Copeland. There is perhaps no Christian better suited to be an expert witness on the teachings of Copeland than him.
I honestly believe that Kenneth Copeland is demon-possessed.
I think he started with good intentions, but I think power and money and the ease in which people are manipulated went to his head.
This is Sarah. She worked for the Copelands for years, and after she could no longer take it, she chose to leave the church, even though she knew this would mean being cut off from her parents who to this day still work there.
We were not allowed to talk to him or approach him in any way. He would come in with like fully armed security guards, which is a little weird when you're going into your own business.
We've been looking at Kenneth Copeland for several decades.
This is Pete and Barry. They are private investigators who have spent decades looking into Kenneth Copeland, and I was shocked by some of the things they had dug up about Kenneth.
When my boss, Ole Anthony, sat down at breakfast with him in the 1970s, Kenneth Copeland ordered pancakes. He handed them back to the waitress and said, "God doesn't want me to eat cold pancakes." And everybody thought he was joking, and they looked at him and everybody looked back and forth. He was serious. He was dead serious.
Kenneth Copeland has been raising money since the late 70s for the revival capital of the world, which is this. This is his sanctuary. So for 44 years, no one's ever seen this. This is his original presentation to raise money from the 70s. He used to mail this to people, to millions of people in the US, and ask for money.
There was never any real plan or any real push to have any of that done.
This is Melissa, another former Copeland Ministry employee, and she spent 6 years with the church doing things like admin work, marketing, and ministerial relations.
Kenneth Copeland planned to build 6 things on this property. A ministry facility, which is the church building, the headquarters, his Kenneth Copeland and Eagle Mountain Church's headquarters, a resort hotel, paying members to use, the Kingdom Park, a beautiful park to use, his radio and TV center, and Wisdom Heights, which is a retirement community. So you give to me, and you will be able to live in our retirement community, and all the while, you'll get to come and watch broadcast TVs, our recordings, you'll get to live and enjoy the revival capital of the world.
Part of the revival capital of the world was actually finished, but most of it was not.
How are we going to penetrate this operation?
Main roads here. There's a railroad crossing here. We're going to come in. This is the main highway right here. This is the gate. There's sometimes a police officer stationed here, but the gate's open because there's going to be a couple hundred people pouring through here.
Do they have this police paid off? Like, are they paying this guy to watch?
They do have private security for the whole property. So we're gonna come right through here. These are all the parking lots for the church. You're gonna walk into the building. So there's a gate right here. So this is the private road. It's a dirt road that runs all the way here.
Okay.
All the way here, around here, and we can either jet down through the tarmac and come around to his house, or we could take this back road and kind of walk through here. But I say we just stick to the
tarmac, dude.
The tarmac it is.
We fly down here, catch that, boom,
yeah,
get to his house.
Before I went to Copeland's church, I first wanted to donate to him so I could be a paid member and feel like I had a right to be in the places I would be investigating. And as soon as I did donate, he began to send me a barrage of emails. In his very first message, he offered to heal my body, eliminate my debt, and restore broken relationships. What a nice guy. The Copeland sent many emails, and one theme that kept popping up was donations. They used Bible verses to encourage giving with phrases like sow the seed, which really means send them money, and receive your anointing, which is allegedly what happens when God notices that you've donated to the Copeland.
If you sow a seed to Kenneth Copeland,
you now have obeyed this divine law that says you will get back what you've given. You've given to a man of God. And so he justifies it because, hey, all believers should be healthy and wealthy.
They also promise to pray for you every single day if you become a partner of theirs, which leads me to wonder, did they turn pay for play into pay for pray? And one other tactic that stands out is what some call strategic generosity. You see, the Copelands offer you free little promotional items like an audio file from Gloria or a welcome box with their magazine of them in it. And some say that these small gifts are given with the intention that it will trigger a sense of obligation for you to send more money to them. And it's a clever cycle. You give to them to get blessed from God, the Copelands get your money, and somehow faith becomes a financial transaction.
What are the odds they're gonna get police there?
I bet security is gonna catch us before we even get there.
I think we need to change our attire.
I agree. Let's get ready for church.
I grew up going to, in what was at the time, one of the biggest mega churches in the country, Willow Creek Community Church. Thousands and thousands of people in a huge auditorium. There was escalators in the place, restaurant, cafeteria, bookstore, basketball courts. It was amazing. I've never had that, like, oh, I have a spiritual connection to God. And so I fell away from the church as I got older.
What do you think it is that makes someone continue to give money to a guy that already has private jets, a 19,000 square foot house, and much, much more?
The poor and the sick are desperate.
Because people want to believe desperately in the miracles.
This is a way for me to grow my bank balance. This is a way for me to become richer.
This is Melissa. She's a Christian YouTuber who uses her platform to discuss theology, expose false teachings, and help people spot spiritual deception. Here was her take on Copeland.
What you give, you will get back. And if you can teach people that, if you can shut down their ability to even understand what the Bible actually teaches about it, and their ability to critically think, then that's an easy given that I believe that.
Morning. If we're trying to get a Bible before the service, is that the Bible store over there? The bookstore?
Oh, the bookstore? Yeah, just go in the main entrance and it's right to your left.
Thank you, sir. So they're a decently well organized unit. All right, we're infiltrating, we're going in. Oh my God, we'll see you in about 45 minutes. Sir. This is the moments we live for in this world.
Dude, this is how weird in the making. Okay, guys, I'll see you. I'm gonna go to the bookstore. How you doing, sir?
Morning, how you doing?
Oh, thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Is there a way to buy a Bible right now, or no? Is the bookstore closed? Oh, bummer. I go get my Bible out of the car. I was hoping to buy one here. Thank you.
Top of the morning to you. How are you?
Great. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
Dressed in my Sunday best, I went into the service to get a feel for how the Copelands do church. I knew going in that Kenneth had an almost ridiculous amount of armed security. I mean, just look at how they responded to this woman who asked questions about scripture.
Can I ask you, do you think it's always God's will for you to be healthy and wealthy?
Yeah.
So how do you answer 1 Timothy chapter 6 when God says that those that desire to become rich fall into all kinds of temptations?
Actually, I'm going to get you somebody that can answer all your questions for you.
Okay, that's the person you say can help me, security?
Yes.
You don't want to be questioned? Why not Kenneth Copeland? Because he doesn't speak to people, does he?
I'm sure of course he speaks to people, but that's where they have staff pastors to meet and answer any questions.
So we went in incognito with spy glasses, trying to stay under the radar before we left the church to storm Kenneth's compound.
One of the things that was very much emphasized was the fact that there's cameras around and you've got to watch what you say because people are listening.
Describe the volunteer culture in the church.
It is very unhealthy. I also volunteered there for a while. I would definitely call it labor trafficking because they expect you to do everything for free and choose that over your actual job.
Love is king, Jesus is Lord. It's exciting. You can't stay, well that's fine. You can put that in our victory is not in and of ourselves. Our victory is.
You might be wondering, where is Kenneth? And the truth is, Mr. Copeland is rarely seen preaching at Eagle Mountain these days, and his daughter Terry has more or less taken over as lead pastor.
They used to put out reports that would let their partners know this is what we spend on missions, this is what we spend on employees, that type of thing. And when George and Terry took over, they decided they did not want any transparency at all whatsoever. So even that, even percentages, not even with numbers, none of that is, or at least when I was there, was not available to the public.
As I sat in my chair, maybe I was being too cynical, but it felt like the entire sermon was laced with marketing pitches to get people to tithe, which is the biblical word for giving 10% of your income.
If you'll fill that out, put that either in the offering basket when it comes, put your prayer request on there, and that way we have your name.
We thank you for the ability to grow in wealth.
You see, Kenneth and other prosperity gospel preachers have morphed tithing into this weird formula that essentially if you give money to them, an anointed prophet of God, that it will somehow translate into God then deciding to multiply your income. Now, some of you may have been expecting a bigger auditorium, and what you have to realize is most of Kenneth's audience is watching through TV, hence why they call him a televangelist. And in his church, he had dozens of ushers who also double the security, many of them probably armed, but most importantly, their job was to approach people sitting in the back and bring them up to pack the front of the church. The reason? To make the audience look filled to capacity for the people watching on their TV back home.
The longer I was there, they started limiting bathroom breaks. You're not allowed to approach certain people. You're expected to all act the same, dress the same. They expected all the body shapes to be the same, telling people they were poorly representing Kenneth because they were a little bit overweight.
We're in a most important time in this nation. We need to know how to vote.
A quick note, folks, there's something called separation of church and state. One way that churches keep their tax-exempt status is by avoiding direct political endorsements. But here at Eagle Mountain, you see classes aimed at educating their members on how to vote. And Kenneth Copeland himself makes his political leanings pretty clear. Here where he mocks Joe Biden.
The media said Joe Biden's president. Ha 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 ha.
And here where he attends a Trump rally.
I copied his suit.
To some, this raises a fair question. Should the IRS be paying closer attention to this kind of activity?
People urge people to vote and are training people to properly vote, and then in private, wink wink, it's for a certain generally Republican candidate, but not always. They can't go after that particular organization's tax-exempt status unless they actually have film of the pastor saying on film to vote for actually a person.
We snuck out halfway through the service so we could attempt to infiltrate Copeland's compound while his security team was focused on the people inside the church.
Like in some ways, it's a very passionate church service. Their music was excellent. Yeah. But then it almost felt like everything was like an infomercial to like go back into giving. Yeah. Bible verse, direct you back into giving.
Yeah. We see in a lot of these preachers is that they'll say, the Lord told me a number of you need to give $1,000, things like that.
Ushers, close the doors. Seed, if I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight.
I don't for a minute believe God is speaking to them like that. There's nothing like that in the Bible.
I really don't think you could listen to a single sermon by Kenneth Copeland or one of these other prosperity preachers where money is not, if not the focus, at least mentioned.
Churches are not required to file 990s. Some provide a church financial statement or an audited financial statement to the donors. Sometimes they'll just have a brief summary and an annual report.
Brother in arms of the Copeland Ministries. Let's freaking get it, okay?
Get it. It's gonna be fun, boys.
While everyone else is worshiping in full swing, we're using that cover to get in here as deep as we can.
So if you go to the right here, there's an oil platform.
Oil field right there.
Look at this beautiful farmland. Who would have thought parishioners were paying for this beautiful farmland off of the... Oh, we got a gate. Mother.
Is there another way around?
Oh, it's opening.
Oh, boys! I think Kenneth might need to raise some money to patch some of the concrete here, the asphalt.
That's so kind of him that his gate opened for us. Let's see if this gate opens. It's a parsonage. So, oh my gosh.
Woo! This is the road that leads to Kenneth's home?
Yep.
This is almost a billionaire's compound that he's gotten from church money, and to be behind enemy lines right now, driving up to his house is an independent journalist's dream. I have a hunch it's gonna be like the first three.
No, this one needs a keypad. So, should we just hang out here and wait for someone?
Folks, you should know that on this mega mansion you see, Kenneth Copeland allegedly pays no property tax at all. That's because this house is claimed as a parsonage, which is a property that the church owns and provides for their pastor, which makes sense for most American pastors where the average salary is a modest $52,000 a year, and thereby provides housing for their pastors living a life of sacrifice. But should these tax breaks be used by the ultra-wealthy like Copeland, who for years now has avoided paying what should be a six-figure tax bill? You tell me in the comments.
Have you ever been to his parsonage, the house?
No, I never have.
Has it has many employees?
Not a lot. I think the people in housekeeping, in maintenance and housekeeping, security, all of that. But no, but the people that go down and decorate for Christmas.
I would assume that the church paid for this, yes.
He has a greenhouse over there, presumably on the church dime. There's a private hunting grounds. This is a playground for a man. I'm trying to see how this all lines up, because when Jesus walked into a temple and saw that people were buying and selling and making money in the temple, he flipped over the table and cracked the whip and said, "Get out of my house." How is this even possible to interpret the scripture in this way?
I honestly don't know. Like the mental gymnastics it takes Kenneth Copeland and his congregation to correlate Jesus or any of the apostles to Kenneth Copeland is mind-numbing.
We call the church and ask the gate code?
It's your first time calling us?
It is, yeah.
So how can I pray with you today?
Oh, I would love to meet Kenneth Copeland. Is there a way to meet him? I was just really praying to be able to sit with him and get some wisdom from him. So I've been praying for a while to be able to meet him. I've reached out to him a few times and he hasn't responded. But yeah, we're at the gate to his house, but it's not open.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure how that works. I think the best thing that you can do is come to the church.
Oh no, we're already by his house.
We're at the there's 3 gates, and ironically the 2 first gates opened for us, and I see that as an act of God, to be honest. Like he wanted us to meet him at his house, but just the 3rd gate, it takes a passcode and I don't have it. Do you have that passcode?
You would have to go to the church.
Oh, okay. We've all become members.
I donated $69 this morning. I'm a member.
69, that's a big number. Good for you for your first donation.
A biblical number, some might say. So we've been praying for the gate code, but apparently
it's another road, but it'll have the same height.
God's busy right now.
100%.
So we're gonna go to the private tarmac that he has, named after himself, and we're gonna further explore. Kenneth. Oh, Kenneth.
When we discovered there was this huge mansion on the property, church members would call us when it came out in the news and said, "We didn't even know about his mansion on the property." We've had informants tell us that it's got a sweeping spiral staircase like you would see in the old movie Gone with the Wind. It's got a bridge across the living room, and the Kenneth Copeland's closet is approximately 35 feet by 20 feet, something like that, bigger than most people's living room.
This is just a man's playground is really what we're on right now. People donated money so they could have a retirement home, a park, this biblical paradise in a way. They believe in this message that this was going to be the city for us to come and gather and celebrate Jesus and the Lord and His love and His mercy, but instead it's just some rich guy's playground. What kind of letters would you get from people asking, they talk about the letters asking for help?
Mm-hmm. We used to get a lot of like, I can't pay my rent, I just lost my job. Like, here's a copy of my lease. Can you pay my rent for this month?
And how often would he help these people?
Hardly ever. On average, I would touch probably 8,000 pieces of mail a month. I maybe saw 3 or 4 that got helped. Everyone else is... no, total.
In the 2.5 years?
Mm-hmm.
We're on Kenneth Copeland's private tarmac. Let's check it out.
From what I've seen here, it doesn't seem like there's much distribution. Like, you look at the revival capital of the world, what he's been raising money on for the last 44 years, the distributions all went to him.
Do you have any idea what kind of money the church was bringing in through this on a weekly basis?
I can't give you like an exact number, but I know they did several fundraisers a year that would reach $10 million. I think last I heard, like, Kenneth's personal net worth was like $760 million.
He's had planes since the 70s, and he's had jets since the 90s, and perhaps since the late 80s. But now he's got 2 private jets. They're owned by the ministry, and 2 twin-engine turboprop aircraft that are also owned by the ministry.
But the 3 things that he's missing are...
The resort hotel
I don't
for
see
his
that.
parishioners.
Do you see that?
Nope. Kingdom Park, which looks like it got turned into a high-fence deer hunting range
For him.
and then Wisdom Heights, which is an elderly community for people that donated. And we've heard from people that some parents donated hundreds of thousands of dollars thinking that they would be able to retire here.
So, do we have any proof that he actually did try and build the hotel or the park or the retirement home?
The retirement community I don't think there's any proof that he ever tried to build that. The hotel, he never tried. I've never seen blueprints. There was never sewer or water or electricity brought into the property to be able to build something like that. The park, there's a Frisbee golf course. He raised or generated $700+ million. A Frisbee golf course, I guess, is you could say it's a park.
Who are you guys?
We're all tithers. We were just trying to see the parsonage because we've never seen any documentation on it.
Why are you out here on the runway?
The gates are all open for us. We were just cruising around.
No, you cannot be out here. This is an active strip.
No, it's not. We know it's not.
No, this is active.
It has to be repaid.
It's active.
Listen, I get you're out here to expose stuff. I get that.
He was supposed to build all this stuff.
I'm aware. Listen, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you are on a private airstrip on private property right now, and I need you to leave immediately.
But we're paying members of the church.
If you don't leave, you're going to be criminally trespassed by the police. Get in your vehicles and leave now.
No, I want to ask him about the Resort Hotel, Wisdom Heights, and the Kingdom Park. Is the Kingdom Park the Frisbee golf thing up there?
Hey, that's a work in progress, so just don't worry about
all that. For 44 years?
It's a joke to you.
No, I think the joke is a guy pretending to be like the power of Jesus Christ is secretly bawling while all the promises he made seem to have not come to fruition.
Well, let's take us to the church and we'll go to the church.
Yeah, just go right out this gate.
We're going to go out this gate, guys, and head to the church. We're going to head to the church right now. Okay, pal. We're just a couple parishioners. Yeah.
Off the property, now.
Where's that badge, just by the way?
Off the property.
Can I see what it is?
You want to see this? Off the property.
Whoa, did you just flash your gun? We want to see your badge.
No.
You did.
Jack crap.
You did.
Get off the property.
Okay. Are you police?
What did you flash at us?
Doesn't matter.
You literally threatened us with your gun, dude.
Okay, look, he's doing it again. That's
no, I'm not.
We're unarmed. You are. Put your other arm up.
You do not belong on the property. How did you get on the property?
There's literally gates that you pull up to and they open.
No, there's not.
There it is.
How much do you want to bet? We rolled the whole time.
You got it. Please stop. What are you, how? Let me ask you, really guys, seriously?
Yeah.
What are you doing out here?
Like the church. We're members.
You go to church here?
Yeah. And we're tithe members.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me show my receipt.
Receipt for
I
what?
gave Kenneth Copeland $69.
Okay,
a considerable sum.
Great.
Doing that with the gun was a little nuts.
Well, you know, when I get a call like this, what would you do?
What was the call?
The call is we got people on here that don't belong out here. That's what I got.
Gotcha.
So then when I pull up, I got a crowd of people, cameras flashing everywhere. What is going on?
Yeah.
And then you're on the runway.
Yeah. We'll get out the runway.
We'll meet at the church.
Holy shit. Someone threw his gun on us.
That guy looks like fucking psycho.
Yeah, he was ready to
kill someone.
Kill us for Copeland, dude?
Yeah. Oh shit, it's gonna...
Did you just impersonate a police officer?
No, I didn't.
What'd you flash at us?
Shut the camera
What'd
off.
you flash at us?
It is my badge for the job.
Can you show me that?
No, I already showed it to you.
But
And
we're
actually,
not.
that's probably more dangerous than a weapon, isn't it?
What? A camera? That's truth.
What?
I know it is.
Is this another?
Okay, guys, what do you want to ask?
We were going with you to the church, but you pulled over.
Yeah, I did. You noticed that.
These are the 6 pillars that Kenneth used to raise all his money. The resort hotel he promised, he did not build. Kingdom Park, he did not build. He built the radio and TV center. He did not build Wisdom Heights.
Where are we going?
I'm saying he committed fraud.
Allegedly. I think of all places you'd expect transparency, you would want it in a church. But the truth is, how KCM spends the donations it receives is something only they know, because churches are not required to file the Form 990, which is the financial disclosure form that other nonprofits must submit to the IRS. And the religion Kenneth claims to represent features its main character, Jesus, doing things like humbly riding a donkey into town and flipping over a table when men tried making money in the church, leading many to question, in what way does Kenneth's lavish lifestyle resemble anything remotely biblical? And furthermore, how is Kenneth allowed to enrich himself while completely being shielded by a tax code that was designed to protect genuine religious work?
The IRS has used 14-point criteria to categorize churches. And in the 80s, they were able to successfully prosecute a number of organizations that claimed to be churches that weren't, because they didn't have a membership that regularly attended the church. And nowadays, the IRS doesn't even want to investigate churches. And so Copeland's ministry is one of those that doesn't file a 990. So nobody knows, his donors don't know what's going on.
How is the IRS not looking into him?
That is a good question. I remember back in 2008, Senator Chuck Grassley attempted to do that. You know, in the United States, we have freedom of religion, and I'm grateful for that. But underneath that umbrella, you've got a wide berth there. If it's my religion to say, if you give me $1,000, God will heal you of cancer. If you're foolish enough to believe that, well, that's my religion. You agreed to it, so I'm covered. You can't come after me legally. You can't sue me.
So what are you here to do?
I'm here to point out a fraud.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Oh, well, I've got way more than this. I've got
I'm
more
sure you
data
do, then why are you here?
Because
if
we
you've
wanted
got
to go
everything
see.
you need.
Oh, I don't have everything. That's why I want to talk to George or Kenneth.
Okay, that's not going to happen today.
The only people that ever call me
tell
are
him to
lawyers.
shut the camera off.
I can't. That's his job.
Well, the next
We wanna
step
talk.
is for you to vacate the property.
I'm a paying member.
Yeah, I know. $69 or
No,
whatever
that was
it
Tommy.
I donated
Okay.
$69. Whatever.
Yeah, but we pay for it.
I can show you the receipt. I paid $69 to this church.
And as of right now, you guys are criminal trespassing. They've asked you to leave. After this, you guys will no longer be allowed on this property.
For how long?
Extending up to a year.
Up to a year?
A year?
Can we mark the calendar and visit you in a year?
I think they'll mark it for you.
That guy did flash a badge and his gun at us.
Okay.
I identified myself.
We won't press charges if you invite us back into the church right now.
Really? You're going to negotiate that on camera?
I think that's fair. Okay, so hop in your cars and head out.
See you next year, guys.
Yep. Take care, Steve.
See you next year.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Well, boys, we got our money's worth this Sunday. I think there's probably a lot of good things that happen at that church. You could tell there was a tight-knit community. There's a lot of love in the air. I'm not taking that away from these guys. What we are talking about, though, is when it's that much money on the line, it's fair to know how that's being allocated, how that's being spent, and why things that he promised to people. Like, there are old ladies at their house that donated absurd sums of money to this guy. And nothing ever came to fruition. Hey, I'm gonna build you a retirement home. Nothing. In an effort to get both sides of the story, we've reached out to Kenneth Copeland multiple times for an interview, but similar to Scientology, he typically does not do interviews because the results tend to be disastrous. But in the interest of fairness, I wanted to highlight the good Kenneth Copeland Ministries, or KCM, has done, and it was actually harder to find than I expected. I read through their 2024 report, and here were 3 major things that I found they celebrated. They distributed 84 million ministry materials, meaning things like books, CDs, and digital downloads. The report claims that they brought over 7 million people to salvation in Jesus Christ, and I learned that KCM has very strong ties with Israel and highlights donating surveillance equipment, security cameras, and tactical gear to their Israeli partners. Interesting. And after reading the report, most of KCM's charitable giving seems to be in the form of things like Copeland branded Bibles, sermon audio, and even a Copeland Christmas album, leading some to ask, is this really charity, or is this just self-promotion disguised as ministry? I'm here on the scene with private investigators. You guys have been looking into the Copelands for how long?
For several decades.
How do you think he came across the funds to get this kind of stuff?
Well, he already had the property when they discovered that when fracking was invented, and they discovered they had gas underground there. And so they started drilling in about 1995, and were hoping to be self-sufficient.
But do we know what kind of funds he used to buy this? Do you know if it was church funds or otherwise?
He raised funds for Revival Capital of the World in the 70s. Purchased the property. He says he got it for a steal. He flew over the property when he was flying back from Oklahoma, and said God told him that's going to be your property. And they discovered oil on it after they owned it.
I heard the Lord, I was looking across there. I heard the Lord say, see that tree right over there? And I said, yes, sir.
If you're looking at it from his point of view, God surprised him with the oil, why not use it, right?
Right.
Anything to add to this oil kingdom we see behind us?
Typically, when you have a nonprofit organization with drilling like this occurring on the land, it would be considered unrelated business income, because Oil drilling has nothing to do with the ministry or the nonprofit organization. There's a form called a 990T for unrelated business income. It would typically be reported and taxed, but there's a crazy loophole in the law. If the property is paid for, they do not have to report it as unrelated business income.
If we were to look at all the people that have lived since biblical times to now, Kenneth Copeland would be in the top 0.00001% of lavish livers. I mean, there's kings that didn't even live like he does today.
And he uses those scriptures about Solomon, the riches of Solomon, to justify his wealth.
What if it's that same guy as yesterday just comes out and just starts firing?
I think that's the same. That's the same truck.
That's the same truck.
Is it?
Then there's the helicopter right there.
Look at that. Hey, Kenneth! We need some answers! If you could speak directly to Kenneth, what would you tell him?
I'd tell him, pay your fair share of taxes and get out of politics.
Our goal was to storm Kenneth's private jet hangar and climb aboard his luxury aircraft. So we tracked down the place where his jets were stored, and this is what happened next.
We found out that Kenneth Copeland is not using his own tarmac to store his jets, but he's using this one right up here. So we're gonna see if we can find a way into his tarmac to see what his jets look like. You ready for a mission?
Yeah, we're at the Alliance Airport. There's a private hangar over here that holds Copeland's jet. And then whenever his buddies fly in on their private jets, they're all just racked against this fence line.
This is the place where the famous TikTok clip about Kenneth Copeland speaking like a demon to that lady, this is the famous area.
Since he got a bigger plane, his main plane can't land on that small of a runway anymore, so he had to move here.
What we're looking at right now is something that very few people in their life will ever even get access to. We're looking at a private airport. This is where the ultra wealthy fly out of. And the thing is, some of those people here at this airport are megachurch pastors. Jesus told people to go out and sacrifice, to go out and give into the people, to go out and struggle and suffer. He had disciples that were on the road preaching that got persecuted, that got killed for spreading the message, living in great discomfort, living a life of sacrifice, living a life that they gave up everything they had for Jesus. You guys tell me in the comments, does that fly with you? Check this out, look what we got here. First parking space next to the door, EMIC, Eagle Mountain International Church. So this is where his fancy car parks. He goes in there for his jet. They paid a premium for this spot. How do you people give money to this man? I don't get it. I really don't. The question that comes to my mind is how in God's green earth does someone rationalize making almost $1 billion off the backs of their donors and their own church members when there are so many real issues in the world? Hunger, education, housing, mental health. That's what our church is supposed to do, is to help the community. But instead we have this son of a bitch who is just racking up the income. Again, I'm not calling his members stupid, but I don't understand it. How does it feel speaking right now? And would you say there is a climate of fear to speak out against Kenneth Copeland?
I mean, I'm scared, but that's just how I was raised, and I feel like it's breaking that tie.
Is there a real fear that someone would come after you for speaking out against him?
Potentially.
What is it that you want the people to walk away with after they see this episode on Kenneth, but also the bigger problem of misappropriation of funds within the church community?
There's a lot of issues in the system, in the religious system in America, but it has all the tools it needs to fix a lot of things too. American Christians are the most generous givers in the world per capita. They give more away to charity than anybody else. So that means that the Christian church has more resources than anybody else. It has more time than anybody else. So here's the crazy part. If reform was brought into the religious sector in America with these religious exemptions, the Christian church has enough resources, just if we stopped most of the theft in churches, to solve the top 30 global social issues, and it would affect no one's bottom line. You could change the world tomorrow.
The Apostle Paul makes an interesting statement in 2 Timothy 3, verse 13. He says that evil men and impostors will grow from bad to worse, deceiving and being deceived. Both of those dynamics can be at work in the same person. Kenneth Copeland is actively deceiving people. He knows that he has given many, many false prophecies. I would tell Kenneth Copeland to repent. I would say to Kenneth Copeland, Kenneth, I don't hate you, but I do hate what you do.
If I could say one thing to Kenneth Copeland, it would be, dude, the church should be the most accountable, transparent organization in the world. It is the literal arbiter and voice of Jesus, or the manifested voice of that. And instead, it's the darkest, shadiest sector in the entire economy.
Folks, as you probably know, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what needs to be exposed about churches and pastors out there. And no one covers this better than Nate and his team at thereligionbusiness.com. And if you use my exclusive code, TommyG74, you get a discount and the ability to watch the entire series of all the work they cover. This is a really important issue, so I highly recommend you go to their website, buy the videos, buy the series, and check it out further. Thank you guys for joining. Do you need money to be happy?
No. Money's good, but it's a fool's errand to think, oh, I'm rich, I'm going to be happy. It doesn't work that way. Let the money come when it comes. And it'll come maybe when you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s. It doesn't really matter that much. Don't focus on money all the time.
Today we dive into the life of California billionaire Carl Barney. He's what some would say is living proof of the American dream. You see, Carl grew up in England in a family of modest means, and he came to America as a young man with just a few dollars to his name. Eventually in his career, he founded a collection of private colleges, and through the success of these colleges, he created an immense amount of wealth. Carl believed with his schools that he was revolutionizing education. However, the state of California felt differently, and Kamala Harris, the California Attorney General at the time, made the controversial decision to force his schools to shut down. And we'll be diving deeper into that later today. But for now, Carl's on a new mission, launching a book with a radical new idea that might change the way you think about life, money, and happiness. In this episode, we see into the world of the ultra wealthy, and we ask the questions that everyone wants to ask a billionaire. Before we get into the life of a billionaire, I gotta tell you about some gnarly computer stuff. There's a software out there called AnyDesk that gives you a crazy level of remote access. It's basically like a magical window that allows you to see into another computer. And here's where it's helpful. Picture this. Your grandma lives 2 hours away and she's having computer issues. Instead of going through rush hour traffic, making it over to Granny to fix something simple, you can remote access into her computer and help her from the comfort of your home. Another scenario, maybe I suspect that Miguel, my editor, is busy looking at furry costumes instead of editing the damn video. All I do is get onto AnyDesk, log in, and see what he's up to. Or maybe you guys have an office job and you're away on vacation and forgot to do something on your desktop computer. Just log in on your personal laptop and you have remote access onto your work computer. And guys, the good news is AnyDesk is free for personal use and they offer custom plans if you are a business client. And it's available on all platforms, Mac, Android, iOS, and more. So if this sounds helpful for what you do in your life, get started for free by clicking my link, anydesk.com/TommyG. All right, folks, and now let's get into the life of a billionaire. Oh man, folks, another good morning. We have spent the night in an establishment many would consider top of the line, the Ramada Inn. And today, we're going into the upper echelon of society. We're talking to a billionaire. Now, some people nowadays, they look at a billionaire and say, just by existing, you're sketchy, or your morals are wrong, or you're a bad person. Other people will look at a billionaire and say, you should be celebrated, studied, questioned to see what we can learn from a person like you. So without further ado, let's hit the road and get going. Folks, we are just pulling up, and this might be weird, but I can't help but feel a little bit, part of me wants to say nervous, just because I almost feel out of place. There's one end of like, oh my gosh, like in the game of business, he's Michael Jordan, he won the game, and we should look at him. But then there's another aspect of like, they control everything.
Good morning. You
Carl?
must be Tommy.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
How are you?
Welcome. I'm doing great, thank you.
So we're here in your palace, huh?
Well, I wouldn't call it a palace, but it's got a nice view.
How old were you when you made your first $1 million?
39.
And how old were you when you made your first $1 billion?
That's censored. That was actually a few years ago.
I detect a bit of an accent from you.
Yes, I was born and raised, went to school in England. When I was 18, I left England. I traveled overland from England, London, through France and Italy, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria. Spent 5 years in Australia, traveling around all Australia, and then came to the great United States.
Right now, we are in a magnificent, beautiful house. How'd you grow up?
We were not very poor, but we didn't have any money. There were 6 of us to feed. This was right after the war in England, the Great War.
Food was still being rationed for up to 10 years after the war, right?
Exactly, you know that. That's good. You must have read a book, something about that. So yeah, there was rationing, and you know, we're very frugal, live very modestly.
I think a lot of young people, especially young men right now, are feeling like they need to be a millionaire when they're 20 or they're 18, and they feel this grand urgency to do so. What would you tell them?
I'd say urgency is great, ambition is great, but don't press it. Let it happen, let it unfold. Pursue your dreams, pursue a purpose. Know what your purposes are. My purpose was education. I wanted to do a great job in teaching people. That's where I made my money, in education. But the education came first and the money came secondary. Let the money come when it comes. And it'll come maybe when you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s. It doesn't really matter that much. Don't focus on money all the time. It'll take care of itself.
Did ever in your dreams think you'd be in a multi-million-dollar house on the coast of California?
Yes, I did. Actually, yeah, I'm a big believer in dreams.
You just wrote a book focusing on happiness. Why?
Well, it was an experiment that I conducted, and I saw the results of the experiment. I saw people getting happier. And I thought, wow, this is working. I better write a book. I had no intention of writing a book until I saw what happened. I found it was inspirational, and I thought the world needed to know about this innovative way of increasing your happiness.
Have you ever been depressed before?
I was depressed one time in my life when I was a teenager. I just couldn't figure it out. And I made the mistake of reading, and this is a long time ago, I made the mistake of reading a book on psychology, which made me even more depressed. But I was depressed, I think, for about 2 days.
Do you need money to be happy?
No. Money's good. It helps with happiness. There's no question about it. There's a lot of values you can get from money. But it's a fool's errand to think, oh, I'm rich, I'm going to be happy. It doesn't work that way. Money is secondary to having something inside of you, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. That's the main thing. And then make as much money as you need to fulfill your dreams. I still have a dream of another house, but this is a
This
dream
is just
house.
a starter house for you?
Yeah, this is sort of, yeah, starter house.
During your peak working moments, what was the most hours per week you were working?
Certainly 100 hours. Maybe a little bit more or less. I don't recommend it, but there's times when you do it because that's what needs to get done. This is an interesting painting. It's not a mural, it's a fine art done by Brian Larson. This painting over here is Prometheus. And you know the story of Prometheus. He took fire, which symbolizes enlightenment. The enlightenment from the gods, the fire from the gods, and brought it to man.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the most you've ever paid for a piece of artwork?
A few $100,000.
Wow.
The first college I did was Matthew Arnold College in England, where I studied language and math, and I finished a math course, but then I went to Australia, so I didn't complete the full program. Then in Australia, I took a course in accounting and did not care for it, so I dropped out of it.
Do you still need to go to college to succeed?
In some fields, you need to go to college. Obviously, if you're going to be a doctor, you've got to go to college. If you're going to be a lawyer, you have to have a law degree. You have to do so. There's some fields. So I would say yes, absolutely, and no, absolutely. It depends what you want to do.
Can we check out your kitchen?
Now you're getting very personal.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll make an exception.
Okay,
Come on,
okay.
we'll take a look at the refrigerators. This one is called the magic refrigerator. It's magic because when anything runs low, it magically is topped up. So I never run out of anything, never run out of milk or oranges or anything like that.
What's your favorite food?
I love the morning succulent oranges, fresh, cool oranges. I love the foo-foo food once in a while, going out to dinner, but I have a wonderful housekeeper. Her name is Lorena. She just cooks clean and wholesome. I will have an occasional wine once in a while, but very rarely. I stay off alcohol.
Am I right in guessing that sugar is also a minimum in your diet?
Oh, sugar is death. No sugar, or as little sugar as possible, and lots of protein, particularly when you're getting older.
I saw you at a gym downstairs. I do wrestling, I do jujitsu, and I think I can look at someone's body and tell if they work out. One thing that I noticed on you, your forearms, dude. Those are strong forearms, okay? Right here, you got the veins going on. A lot of people do bicep curls, but a real measure of a man, especially grip strength, are in the forearms.
I work out isometrics 1 day a week. I have a trainer come by on Wednesday who does more flexibility and balance type. And on Thursday, I have a strength trainer who does weights with me. And then Friday and Saturday, more cardio. Everybody has an age. You know, I'm gonna live until I'm 80 or 90, or maybe they shoot for 100. He said, well, why not extend it? Why not go for a bigger number? So I thought, well, what can I really, I said, what's the record? It's a bit over 120. I think it's 122 is the record. I think, well, I can shoot for, no guarantees, unfortunately. My doctors will not put it in writing. This is like the workroom, and I do reading, writing, computer stuff, meetings sometimes.
Carl, I see you surrounded by a lot of books right now. Is there any one book that you would say has been most impactful on your life?
Well, there's a lot of books that are impactful, but one major one has been Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand.
Atlas Shrugged is a 1,000-page book by Ayn Rand, and it is basically the Bible for hardcore capitalists. The premise of the book is essentially that the hero, the entrepreneur, is continually overcoming rules and regulations put in their path by the enemy, the government, and it shows the entrepreneur's journey to overcoming this evil. This book is foundational to Carl's thinking and helps you better understand someone in the ultra-capitalist category. I read it in college and recommend you do if you have some extra time on your hands.
I wanted to do something meaningful with my life, and then I did the soul searching. I came up with 2 high values. I love management. Crazy, but I love it. I love management. I also love education. I find it's a high value for me and a high value for other people. So I wanted to do something that involved management and education. So that's when I acquired my first private college, a business college in San Jose, California. Went broke after 6 months. So I had to roll up my sleeves and work, and I built it up, became very successful, and then over the next many years, I grew it to 20 on-ground campuses in various six western states, and then started a university called Independence University, which had 1,500 people working for it, grew quickly to 10,000 students. It was quite successful in those days.
And then you had a battle with the government. They shut your schools down, if my research is correct.
Elizabeth Warren. So I'm honored to be one of her enemies. She and Dick Durbin ordered the colleges closed, and they talked to each other behind the scenes, and there's a bunch of activists that hate private colleges. All colleges and universities ought to be run by the government. Everybody knows that, so to speak. But I was private and profitable, and they didn't like that. Hey, how are you all?
Good morning. Fantastic.
Carl starts off his morning with a few Zoom meetings. The first one is him giving marching orders to his team of assistants, and another one is catching up with his friend Peter Diamandis, a man who is a powerhouse in the space of innovation and someone Carl passionately supports with financial backing.
Remember, life is to be enjoyed. Enjoy the day, and I'll catch up with you when I come back home.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you have a great day.
What was your next move after your schools got shut down?
I sort of coasted a little bit. I did some consulting work. I did a couple of things like that. But I think the next big thing was the book. And it took me 3 years to write the book, and now I'm working on promoting the book.
Guys, there's something you should know. Carl has a free happiness quiz he designed to help you better understand yourself and how happiness comes to your specific personality type. I took this quiz and enjoyed reading through the results. If you would like to take it for yourself, the link is in my description.
There are a lot of people in my situation that have money and they don't know what to do with it. They give it away to charities, which is good. They give it away to the universities, which is fine, the hospitals and various charities. Whoever it was, that enabled you, or me in this case, to become successful and happier, acknowledge them. And I had 20 people in my will, and I got down, I sat down with them just like I'm sitting down with you, and I said, look, you've been enormously helpful to me. You've done this and you've done that, and you helped me in this way, so be very specific. And I said, I'm really grateful, and I want to express that gratitude to you by giving you a happiness grant. So I said to them, I said, I don't want this money to be a problem for you, to make you more successful and happier. They said, well, what kind of plan? I said, well, I want you to write a happiness plan. And they said, happiness plans, what's that? I said, well, I'll hire a coach for you, a happiness coach, and they'll help you develop a plan. And when I see the plan that you know what you're going to do with the money, I'll send it to you all at one time. It's yours.
One thing that I'm observing is you can look at siblings within a family, and some are very ambitious, some are very lazy, and some are in between. To me, it almost seems like there's an intrinsic thing that some people have and some people don't. What do you think it is that sets the ambitious apart from the non-ambitious?
I think there is such a thing as temperament, you know, how you're born. It seems like to influence it. But I think there's an influence. I think beyond that, and what we can control, is what we read, people that we associate with, identifying early in life or later in life something that you love to do, that fascinates you, that motivates you. And then if you can do that, and some people do it and some people don't, and it evolves over a period of time until you say, hey, this is what I want to do with my life.
In the pursuit of wealth, do you ever felt like you left relationships with family and friends on the back burner and you regret it?
I was never in a pursuit of wealth, interestingly enough. I wanted enough money to not have to worry about it, but I never pursued wealth. I loved management, I love education, and I pursued that, and the money came.
One thing I've come to learn about many of the ultra-wealthy is they view time as their most valuable asset. So instead of spending extra time driving through LA traffic, we head to a private airstrip where Carl has a helicopter ride waiting for us.
Yeah, thank you for a safe flight. I appreciate it. Absolutely. A little bit of happiness for you, okay?
Appreciate it, guys.
You have a good day.
You as well.
See you on the way back.
Absolutely, we'll be here.
You know, but the American dream is so important. And it inspired generations of people, and it needs to be revived. There's no Russian dream, you know, or even English dream or Australian dream. It's typically American. And that says something about the American mindset. You know, that we want life to be better for ourselves and our family.
Why do you think so many people today feel like it's out of reach?
Something really bad happened in America. And, you know, it's probably not just one thing, but one thing after another happened. Somehow we've lost the spirit of America. We've lost the dream. And that's very sad.
So it seems like to me, the way you're articulating it, the American dream is not a thing, it's not a policy, but it is a belief in a better future that we had for many years in this country, but it's been dampened down in recent times.
It's diminished and it's faded, and that's very sad.
Carl is on the move promoting his book launch, so our first stop is at the iHeartRadio headquarters where he sits down with Ellen Kay, the host of the #1 radio show in Los Angeles. Hey there.
Who are you?
Carl, I'm Ellen.
I'm not going to shake your hand. Are you kidding me? I'm a red-blooded
Nice to meet
American. Good to meet you. Lovely.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for coming. All right, we're here with Carl Barney. Welcome to our radio show and the Feel Good Morning Show and this podcast. This is all about people who make us feel good, Carl, and you are one of them. Welcome.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm pleased to be here.
I am loving your book, The Happiness Experiment. Carl B. Barney. Tell me about the happiness experiment.
This happened naturally with real people, with real experiences. Came from 3 places. One, I almost died in a plane crash. We were diving into the grass. That's what I thought, this is not going to be fun. The next thing that happened was that I heard that my sister's husband was dying. And I sat down with her and I said, Janet, I'm really sorry. I said, you're in my will. and I want to bring it forward and give it to you now so that you can fulfill any last wishes with Carla and her husband. But my older brother was sitting there, and I said, well, I'm going to do the same thing with you. His wife went ballistic. She said, this is too much money. I don't want anything to do with it. It's wrong. And she stormed out of the room. So that was a big surprise, but it gave me a lesson. And then the next thing that happened was I'm looking over my financial statements, and I've been very fortunate. I've made a lot of money, but there was money sitting on my financial statement which wasn't doing anything. And these things came together. The people in my will after the plane crash, my sister giving her the inheritance, and now this money is, I said, how can I use this money for myself and those I really cared about? So that started the experiment.
Based off your experiment, do you think universal basic income is a good idea?
Oh, that is such a complicated question. I'm really not qualified to answer that, but it's good and it's bad. I mean, it's good if it gets rid of a whole lot of government interference and complication. So economically it might work, as Milton Friedman said. But generally speaking, I think you destroy lives by giving people money then they're not ready for it.
And I've actually found that giving money away is very hard and oftentimes creates resentment in the people that you give it to. How did you avoid that with some of your closest friends and inner circle?
That was something I had to struggle with. How can I just do this? Sit down with my friends who are, you know, they're substantial people. They wouldn't accept charity. They didn't want a gift, but it was delivered in such a, and I said, you've got to think of me as being dead. You don't owe me anything. I said, if not, I don't want to do this if it's going to make a problem with our friendship. And some of them did. 3 of the people said, no, I can't accept it.
I thought it would be an interesting dynamic to schedule a meeting between a billionaire and ex-cons that were running the streets of Los Angeles. Some of these guys like Bozo did major prison time, but now after getting out, are entrepreneurs eager to talk business with Carl.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Angel Reyes.
Hello, Angel. Good to meet you.
How you doing, Jay Solano?
Fine. Leave me a hand, okay? That's good.
I think the thing is here is we're all on a similar quest of life. We're all trying to be successful. We're all trying to be entrepreneurs. And I feel like there's not a lot of it that we learn in school. So I feel like this is a cool way where we all come from different parts of life.
Yes, sir.
You grew up in England, you guys grew up in LA, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, moved to Milwaukee. And I think it's just cool to brainstorm and see what we can come up with to learn and advance our missions, you know?
Predominantly, we grew up in the city of Pico Rivera. Me and him are childhood friends. You know, both of us had rough childhoods, whatever. I just did 10 years in prison. I've been out about 9 years now. So after I did my 10 years, I told him I needed to get back on my feet, you know what I'm saying? Figure out something. I didn't want to, it was a revolving door, you know what I mean? I didn't want to go back to prison no more. I put myself through a trade school. I did photovoltaic, and also independently, I'm a recording artist. Yeah, so signed with OTR, got a deal offer, and I've been doing a lot of like administration with them, like helping with artists, also putting on music. And
seems like you could teach me some things.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, depends in what area you're trying to do it in, you know? But we're all kind of entrepreneurs. He has his own fashion brand too. He does real estate also.
But I was telling him about making a curriculum, whether it's 6 weeks or 8-week curriculum for juveniles or for parolees. You know, some type of trade.
Give them the skill fast.
Where you
fast.
Immersion, yeah, get into it and get out.
What's dire here?
Give the incentive to have a job after it.
I think that's a fabulous idea.
So I ended up fighting for my life for about 43 days.
Wow.
In the hospital, refused the ventilator, refused the blood transfusion, asked God to help me, and within 2 days, I was getting better. I got severe lung damage. I got blind in one eye. So I had to, of course, you know, now I'm disabled, but I had to move differently and learn how to move differently. And it was a process for me for about a year and some change.
You literally came from death's door. I mean, you were about as low as you could go.
Yeah.
Physically and mentally.
Absolutely.
I mean, you were dead. You were gone.
Absolutely.
And then you turn it around, and in the last few years, you've done all of that?
Yeah.
You're freaking amazing. Tommy was asking me, he said, you know, homeless and all of that, what's the solution? I said, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know how you deal with the problems that, you know, people get in that cycle and they never make it work out. You guys have the answer. Today, Tom said to me, he said, we're going to meet these guys from the hood or from, you know, from downtown. And he said, you know, they've done some amazing things with their life and they've turned their life around to amazing things. And you know, going to meet with them, and maybe they're going to ask you some questions and learn from me. But right now, for this first half an hour, I've learned from you guys.
What's one of the biggest lessons in business you've learned?
I think one of the things that really made a big difference to me is to knowing what you want to do with your life. That's huge. You can die without knowing what you want to do with your life. But if you spend the time thinking about it, talking to people, talking to your romantic partner, talking to your friends, talking to a coach, but figure out what you're going to do and why you're doing it.
Carl, for the people out there that haven't accumulated a fortune yet, how can they use your book? How can they give back to their people?
But it's not a matter of giving back. Nobody stole anything. Nobody has to give anything back. But people that have wealth, they want to use it in the service of their own happiness and the happiness of those that they care about, those that love, and for whom they are grateful. This is a wonderful mechanism of giving them not a bequest, but a prequest to enrich their lives, their success, their happiness.
Who's a hero of yours?
Ayn Rand. I mean, she is courageous intellectually. She has promoted some ideas which were just so revolutionary, so much ahead, and she stands by her ideas. And she defends them, and she's articulate there. Who would write a book called The Virtue of Selfishness and put that in the title? And everybody knows that selfishness is an awful thing and so forth. But then when you get to understand, and that bothered me, I wasn't going to read that book. But then when I got into what she meant by that, which is living your own life and having the greatest life that you can and loving your own life and loving life. I don't agree with everything on Rand read and said, but in every substantial way, I think this woman is a hero.
Carl heads to another radio show to continue promoting his book, and this time he sits down with the popular host, Rick Dees.
Hey, it's me.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, and you?
Good to see you, sir.
My assistant is in love with you.
Oh, no, I'm going to hug you for that.
Oh, well, hug her. Well, I'll take that to her. She's going to be flipped out.
First of all, she gets these. She's too hot. Shelly gets this. If you could open it, I'm going to sign it right now.
Look at that. He knows how to write.
By the way, it is Rick Dees. I am so very, very blessed to be in the presence of Carl Barney. And it is a joy to have you. This is a conversation, and I hope that anyone listening or even watching would take something away and say, I'm going to try that.
Right now, there's a left-wing populist movement being led by AOC and Bernie Sanders, and they're filling stadiums around the country. And one of the premises of their movement, I guess you could call it Eat the Rich, but they say that not one person in the world should be worth over $999 million that should be taxed at 100%. Is that a good idea?
It's evil. It's unjust. It's insane. It's communism. And these guys should go and enjoy China or North Korea. That's where they should be living. Because it's against human nature. If somebody is capable of making lots of wealth, they don't spend it. I mean, these people are so stupid. I'm sorry. You can only eat so many fine foods. You can only have so many airplanes, so many homes. What do you think these people, they reinvest the money. Who would you rather have spend billions of dollars? Elon Musk or AOC and Bernie Sanders? You want the government to spend your money? Or do you think you should keep it to yourself?
They're afraid it will get to a point in this country that the ultra-wealthy will be able to influence elections, influence policy, influence law, to the extent where they just get to run everything. That's their thought. What is your take on it?
You mean like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and OAC are influencing the culture and the thing? Those guys have all the political power. Elon Musk and others, he doesn't have any real power. He has persuasion, has ideas, but he doesn't have any power.
I think initially when we think billionaires, it's gonna be like, holy shit, it's this guy. And he's gonna be so outrageous. I only have a sample size of 2, but these guys have been incredibly chill. Like just pretty down to earth. And I don't think being a billionaire actually, it's how you became a billionaire that really matters. I don't think just being a billionaire makes you a good or bad person. It's how you did that. So I'm curious to know what you guys think in the comments. And is this something that you aspire to be? Like, do you want to be a billionaire? Me personally, the lifestyle I live, I know I don't need to be a billionaire, nor do I want to be one. Like my life, even if I had $1 billion, my lifestyle wouldn't change. I would still drive my Chevy Cruze. I would occasionally buy ribeyes. Maybe I would buy nicer Airbnbs when I go on vacation, but it's not like I would be doing that much outrageous stuff. All right, folks, that was the day in the life. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Carl, is there anything you'd like to end this piece with?
This has been a very exciting and stimulating day. It's been a pleasure working with you guys. And as we say in England, I'm chuffed, which means I'm very pleased. Very satisfied. Thank you. That was a great day. Thank you. And thanks to the camera guys who were
These guys
everywhere.
crush it. If you could broadcast a message to every home in the country, what would it be?
Your life is important. Your own life is important. And respect that. And want what you want, whatever it is that you want. Dreams, purposes, values. Whatever it is you want, what you want is important. And make it important. And billionaire has a bigger mindset. And after a while, the numbers just become, more zeros.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to purchase Carl's book, which I highly recommend you do, The Happiness Experiment. I read it. It made me think a lot about what kind of impact you want to lead in this life and planning for happiness. Do yourself a favor, get the book. Link is in the description. Love you guys. See you next week. Peace. We're on a yacht with a lot of Miami millionaires. We're gonna ask them how they make their money, what industry they're in, what's the most they ever made in a month, best financial decisions, worst financial decisions. Let's explore money, because really, money is just a game, and these people play it well. So let's explore. Do you think you can become a billionaire?
100%.
I sold that business for $115 million.
What would you say your net worth is now? $400 million? One thing I've picked up about this younger generation is we all want to run our own show, whether it's a YouTube channel, a t-shirt company. We want to be our own boss and do things that matter. Entrepreneurship is very important to me. That's why I spent 16 weeks with Milwaukee 8th graders leading them through an entrepreneurship course that culminated in a pitch competition where first, second, and third place won money to put towards their startup. In third place, we got Cyrus. The topic of wealthy people has been forefront in our country's discussion. Some people villainize them, thinking that they're evil or bad people that somehow took advantage of people to get to the top. Other people celebrate these entrepreneurs and want to aspire to be like them themselves. The first entrepreneur I meet up with is Jordan Welch, a successful multimillionaire YouTuber that has had a variety of businesses. He takes us to meet two of his friends, Zane Jan, a man who is worth a few $100 million himself and is on his way to becoming a billionaire by 30. The other man we get to meet, Eric Spofford, recently sold his company for $115 million. Today we go through mansions, condos, yachts, Rolls Royces, and more to see what it's like living this life. Guys, I'm really excited about today's episode, meeting with Miami ultra millionaires, going on yachts.
You're wearing that?
Yeah, dude, you look kind of like a nerd.
Yeah, big time.
You guys think I should change?
Yeah.
Okay, just 1 second. Oi, someone fetch me a water!
Here we go.
Cheers.
Yo, we still the same ones. When it come to chats, we don't take none. Shit.
Yo,
My boy,
what's up, man?
Bro.
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah.
Zane,
How you
nice
doing,
to meet
man?
you. Tommy.
What's up, Zane? Awesome to meet you, man.
Tell the people where we are right now, Zane.
So we're here in Miami, Florida. We're 39 floors up here in a penthouse. We're gonna show you a crazy view right now, so let's go. Where I used to grow up, it was like a 500 square foot apartment, and you would open up the window, your view was another brick building. When I first made like my first dollars, it wasn't getting a nice car. The first thing I did was I moved into a high rise with a crazy view, because I was like, to me, that's the most inspiring thing anyone can have.
So Zane, tell the people what you do.
I'm an entrepreneur. I run many businesses, but my main business is a company called Better Earth Solar. We're a residential solar company. So we put on a solar system, we power up your house, you have all the off-grid capabilities. I went to college, I was there for a year. I dropped out of college, I was like, F this, I'm gonna go sell solar.
And what'd you do last month in business?
Almost $40 million. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
So Zane, do you think you can become a billionaire?
100%.
And how old are you now?
27.
And when do you think you'll be a billionaire?
By 30.
How many employees do you have?
650 W2 and 3,000 contractors.
And those are your sales guys?
Those are sales guys, yeah. And you have guys there that maybe work for 3 months and make a few grand, and you have guys there that work for 3 months and make $1 million.
Your number one salesperson in the country?
$3 million. And he's from Wisconsin, yeah.
Represent.
Chance, his name's Chance Prachinsky. His first year working with me, he won a white Lambo.
So gentlemen, do we have a yacht to be boarding pretty soon?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is it?
Yeah.
It seems like we're about to hit really tough economic times in this country, and a lot of people feel like creating wealth is out of their reach and they're just destined to be poor or broke or not live an excellent life. Like, what is your mentality on that?
The only reason people never get out of a recession or people get affected by a recession is because they live a life above their means. They end up putting all of their eggs into a few baskets that don't do good today. You could either look at it as an issue or you look at it as the greatest opportunity in your life.
What would you say your net worth is now?
Company-wide, 400 million.
Does that feel crazy to say out loud?
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's a business, dude.
Where are we right now?
We're here at Island Garden Marina. This is the most exclusive marina here in Miami.
Tell us where we are right now.
We're on my 92-foot yacht called the Bonus Rounds. I have a coaching program for entrepreneurs and business owners. We have about 40 of our members on the boat that have flown in from all around the country. Deals are happening, coaching's happening. I grew up just north of Boston, about 40 minutes north of the city. I started getting involved in drugs and alcohol at a young age. I started smoking pot and selling pot.
So far, that's what we have in common with both you and Zane in your entrepreneurial journey. Was selling weed was your first flip.
14 years old was my first ever massive drug purchase and sell.
I swear to God that selling drugs is a better MBA in business than you can get in college. I'm just saying it taught me a lot. When I was 14 years old in 1999, OxyContin was just hitting the scene.
Don't be afraid to take what they give you. Often, it will be an opioid medication.
Creating this opioid epidemic, but he brought over a 40 milligram OxyContin pill and we crushed it up, and I sniffed half and he sniffed half, and it birthed an opiate addiction in me on the spot. 6 months later, I had dropped out of high school and I was an IV heroin addict.
What brings you guys here?
Networking, man.
Solid event, man. I moved to Miami. It's like a no-brainer, you know?
Seek guidance.
Mentorship, vision.
What kind of industries are you guys in?
I'm in the audio, video, smart home.
Content creation industry.
All things real estate.
I'm in e-commerce.
I do AI consulting.
The restaurant, food, and beverage industry.
OnlyFans manager.
Luxury jewelry.
Real estate.
Consulting space.
Podcasting. Solar, baby. Sales.
What's the most you ever made in a month?
One time I made $180,000 in a day.
150.
300K? 37 grand.
350,000? 52 grand. 60,000.
15, 16?
Probably over $1 million.
What's the most you ever lost in a day or a month?
I lost 50K in one investment. Some guy scammed me.
10, 15K investments. $60,000 of inventory. Just spoilage.
Like 150,000. A few $1 million.
10, 15 grand.
1.2 million. I got fucked over by my old boss.
From 15 years old for about the next 6.5, almost 7 years, I shot heroin, used drugs every day. On December 7th of 2006, after a robbery gone bad, where I had robbed a guy for $82 with a kitchen knife, that's when I got into sobriety. And I've been consistently sober and in recovery since then. I started this sober house in October of 2008. It was me and 11 guys that lived in a house, and I helped them get sober and I helped them change their lives. And that grew into one of the largest providers of addiction treatment on the East Coast. We did $55 million a year in top line revenue. And I sold that business for $115 million.
Do you guys think anybody can be rich?
I think it's a mindset that you're wired and you either have or don't.
Yeah, 100%. Especially nowadays with the access with the internet, with all the opportunity that we have, anybody can become rich.
Anybody that wants it can.
Yeah, completely. 1, work hard. 2, if you have good intention. And 3, you're just surrounded by the right people. It's almost impossible not to have at least a degree of success.
Why do you think rich people have been so demonized in our culture as of lately?
Self-reflection, right? They have what I want. It's their fault, not mine. It goes back to the whole excuse thing. So
I mean, most people, they're not willing to do what it takes to become successful. And that pisses a lot of people off nowadays.
Correct.
I have no idea how to dress myself in a club in Miami. What do I gotta wear?
Black fit, black shirt, black jeans.
How much does a designer t-shirt go for?
$200 to $300.
All right, guys, you can do that, or you can shop at Big Dogs Gotta Eat, TommyGMcGee.com. Get the shorts, get the shirts, get the hat, get the ski mask. All of that, you can buy the entire bundle for less than $200 to $300. We got a couple hours to kill before we go to Eric's house for dinner. I gotta find out what t-shirt I'm gonna wear so I don't look like a monkey in Miami. Let's go shopping. I spent $35 on Amazon where I was trying to replicate. Where's this? I'm from Milwaukee and I don't know how to dress, and I'm trying to figure out what to wear to a club tonight.
How would you rate this fit, 1 out of 10? A strong 8. If you're in Miami, this is the way to go.
What about the Crocs?
You gotta get rid of the Crocs.
Okay. Is it possible on a budget of like $60 to get a shirt here? Is there anything that I can get?
Wow. I don't think I have anything that low.
I think I gotta go to Zara. $40, okay.
Now we're in the right bracket.
Thank you, you too. I'm starting to be successful as an entrepreneur, but I've been so frugal my whole life.
That's a good thing.
It's hard for me to look at a t-shirt that's $200 and just buy it.
A lot of it is so superficial, bro, and it's not necessary, you know? You want people to respect you off your name and what you've created, not off of what you wear. And 9 times out of 10, people don't give a shit anyways.
Now we're heading to Eric, the guy that owns the yacht. We're heading to his mansion for a dinner that he's hosting, so we'll see you at his house. This is Eric Spofford's house. Went from drug addict to multi-millionaire. I'm gonna ask Eric how much this house costs. What is your guess?
12?
I was gonna guess even higher, like 14.
My lovely partner in crime, Lori Bedreau, couldn't ask for a better partner. Before I owned this house, this was used as a short-term, high-end Airbnb. I got a picture on my back dock right there of Conor McGregor holding a shark that he caught. If you look up the Little Baby video.
He's playing right now on this speaker.
Yeah. But the song On Me, the music video was all shot at this house.
Crazy about me like gon' do more than 100 rounds in the screws, yeah. I get real chicks.
Here we got a movie theater. I never actually really use this room though. I don't watch any TV. So this is superhuman protocol. They say that most disease centers from a lack of oxygen in your body. And so I do this thing every day. That thing makes 96% pure oxygen. It fills this bag up, throw one of these face masks on right here. And I'll do 10, 15 minutes of straight oxygen, breaks up your blood and actually pushes the oxygen into your cells.
Are you still in touch with a lot of people from your family that knew you during your addict days?
I really don't have much family. My mom wasn't around too much when I was growing up and going through all that. It's just me and my dad. It's almost unbelievable, bro. I mean, I was shooting heroin at 15 years old. Pretty much everyone who knew me in my community, friends, family, etc., had written me off as a guy that was either going to die or go to prison, which I should have. Both. 5 overdoses on life support, survived all of them, been stabbed a couple times, been shot at, made it through somehow.
Do you have any photos from back in the day?
That's me with a 45 and a bulletproof vest. We're out robbing drug dealers, yeah.
What is your advice to people that are in really, really tough situations? How do they can change their life and turn it around like you did?
I speak out of experience, and so I can only give you guys what worked for me. So I started doing all the things that I didn't want to do and historically hadn't been willing to do. Like the drug dealer trying to break out of the game. When you go and get a fucking honest construction job and you can't ball out of control and spend money like you were doing, you have to be willing to do the shit that you don't want to do and sacrifice and pay that price. I had to put my head down and work. Like I spent 2 years cutting trees down, logging, like barely getting by.
Is that where you got some of the startup funding to buy your first piece of real estate?
The problem is they want it overnight.
Yeah.
Dude, I kicked a dope habit on a couch. I didn't sleep for a month. I was puking, pissing, and shitting just to get off the drugs. And then I was walking to jobs and walking to work. My first business, I didn't make any money for years. I lived with those dudes. I moved out of the $550 a month an apartment in the projects to move into the sober house to live with 11 men to start this business. And I stayed there for 2 years because I've been doing it for so long. It's like this. But most people don't survive the very early stages of it because they feel like they're spinning the wheels and not getting anywhere. But it's necessary. 100%.
How can the people find you, Eric?
Jumping on YouTube, just starting to put out content there now. And so appreciate any subscribers that jump over. I'm brand new on YouTube, but I'm heaviest on Instagram.
I was talking in the car with my team, all the people that impressed me today, and you are the top of that list. You're 23 years old. You're running a 150 plus person operation. Tell me a little bit more about that.
My name is Travis, living in SoCal right now. Yeah, working in the solar industry. Started out in selling alarms door to door in good old Ohio. Realized I was kind of decent at selling.
Did you go to college?
I did for a semester, and then I realized that it wasn't for me, so I ended up dropping it.
Were you already doing door to door at this point, or did you drop out and then go door to door?
Dropped out and then went to door to door.
So you do very well under pressure, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
So how soon did you go from dropout to, hey, I'm Travis and I'm successful?
Yeah, so I mean, first year sales didn't make too much money, but got the skill set.
What's not too much money?
I made like 20 grand my first summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next year, made my first 6 figures. It was in 4 months. Ran about a 50-man pest control team. Had my buddy who was showing me some numbers in the solar, and I was like, okay, this is the real deal. We ended up starting our own company, and now we're here. Message to you guys is keep on growing, keep on pushing.
Even if I were to become a billionaire, I don't think I'll ever spend money on bottle service. It was interesting to see people express money in a different way than I've ever seen before. Being rich can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. To me, it's about finding a purpose and a passion that you love and chase it. It's about building a community of family, of friends around you that you love. And it's about living a life that you can be happy and proud of. What does being rich mean to you? A big thanks to Jordan for leading me on this adventure. Go ahead and subscribe to him and blow him up. Folks, life is a grand old adventure. Thank you for joining me with this video. I appreciate you so much. Cheers.